Welcome to the Comics Aficionados, the best comic book podcast in all of the interwebs, right here on Thinking Critical Comic Books Podcast. Thank you so much for joining. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. It's been a busy week. We have a fashion show coming to the X-Men. Much mocking ensued. We're also going to talk about the big things that came out of Disney Plus, being Falcon Winter Soldier. Also, HBO Max, we had the Snyder Cut. We've been waiting for it for so long. It finally happened. So that's coming out. We've got some other things to talk about. What else is out there? There's some other topics. We'll get to it. They'll be scrolled on the bottom. But I got a great panel. You'll see that we have 4 guests today. It's supposed to be 5. The Fatal Diva himself has been decided to be fashionably late once again. So he will be here in time, and you will see Fatal J. First up, returning to the podcast from Comics by Perch. How you doing, Perch?
I'm doing great. How are you? How's everybody?
Rocking.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. All right, he's in mid coffee, so I'm going to put him on the spot. How you doing, Joe?
I'm all right, Wes. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. I see you got a haircut.
I did get a haircut. The trick is you wait really long, and then everyone comments on it. If you get them too often, no one knows.
So next up, we've got the heel of the comic book internet community. Yule is here. He's going to be dropping truth all over the industry. How you doing, Yule?
I'm wonderful. Thanks for having me on. Looking forward to it.
And last but not least, the co-host, Doc. How you doing?
Oh, I'm definitely least. I'm good. I'm looking forward to laughing at all this bullshit.
Absolutely. So let's get right into this. We've got the big Hellfire Gala event coming up, and they've decided that they're going to promote it using what appears to maybe be high-end fashion. Some people have told me that these costumes have been directly ripped off from RuPaul's show on Netflix. When I saw these costumes, I thought to myself, they must be pandering to the Berkeley audience. We do have a member of the panel that has a comic shop in Berkeley, California. Yule, is this directly aimed at your clientele?
Well, my clientele was willing to purchase and read and enjoy that X of Ten of Swords. So I think this is right up there. My customer base, at least, is down for this gala.
So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's some things that look cool about it.
All right,
as far as the art.
What looks cool?
Storm looked cool. Storm looked cool. I kind of like
cloud and lightning.
Yeah, that was neat.
Rogue wasn't bad.
That was the best one. Easily.
I thought Rachel. I mean, they were just doing her, her warhound or whatever they call them gimmick, and I like the shoes. That was pretty sweet. Yeah, I definitely know some people that will be dressing up like that in the future.
Oh no!
Oh yeah.
She cut off her ponytail from like her mullet ponytail just to make a leash out of it.
Yeah. At least she's got one of those little puppies around. I like that.
There you go.
All right, Joe. I know are you a fan of fashion?
I could take it or leave it. I think.
What do you think of these fashion displays?
First,
excited for the event.
Before anything, I just want to set the record straight here. If there was any doubt in Wes's heterosexuality, he referred to RuPaul's Drag Race as the RuPaul show on Netflix. So, forget all the rumors you've heard. But no, it's I don't get it. I mean, it's the Met Gala. It's a mixture of like drag and the Met Gala, because if you look at the timeline, this idea probably percolated in. It was probably after the Met Gala. People were, they were probably watching and so like, oh wow, this would be cool. Let's do this, and it took months and months before it got to this point. So that's probably the origin story of whatever the hell this is.
There's like 14 people that don't work for fashion magazines that actually watch the Met Gala. What the hell? And apparently all 14 work in Marvel's X office.
Well, at least Russell Dauterman does.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, he that poor guy had to just sit on Zoom calls and give people yelling ideas at him, and they're like, I would have loved to get a tape of that.
These are the behind the scenes things we really need to know about.
Yeah.
So I do need to say thank you very much to Layden Kramer for supporting the channel with the super chat. For Hellfire Gala event, how are readers feeling towards this, even story-wise, for retailers? Since the reveal, are you seeing subs going down? For Perch, does it make you want to do a Friday drinking on Monday? So obviously we do have the retailer out in California. Has this affected your subs as far as the enthusiasm or interest in the event?
No, what it's going to do at best is anybody that dropped off Hellions after Ten of Swords or New Mutants or whatever it may be, will probably get them to pick up at least this 1 month storyline through all the books.
One issue of every,
Yeah, I don't.
Every series.
I know we kind of made fun of Ten of Swords because of all the. I mean, the battles were kind of stupid, and they probably that dinner. But I thought the dinner was kind of cool. It had a lot of opportunity to create, new storylines, and so hopefully this will do the same, at least a little.
Well, if it had the
All right,
opportunity,
Perch,
it dropped it.
Perch, are you thinking about transferring your drinking also to another Monday session as well?
Well, I mean, the spoiler is I do drink every day. So,
I believe that's called
He
alcoholism.
just doesn't
sir.
record it all the time.
that's right. I generally drink alone in the dark. No,
There you go.
I mean, yeah, it's a month. It's 14 issues. It's funny because it's 12 issues as they're advertising. The other 2 issues sort of tie into it as well. Children of the Atom and Cable, at least to the solicits. But I mean, who knows? So yeah, it's a lot of dinner party, and we're getting it all. I think Way of X gives us the Hellfire Gala hangover. So it's a lot of pages to devote to the event. This is longer than Extinction Agenda and Fall to Mutants and Mutant Massacre.
Wow.
just to throw that out there. Yeah.
This is on par with Executioner Song in length, I think, right?
I think. Well,
No, that was
Was that 12? Or...
Yeah, that was 12.
Okay.
This is 14 technically. So
Right. Yeah. Mm.
yeah. And there's
So
some
is this going to be
giant
more like a Clue mystery event where maybe someone's murdered and you have to find out what the weapon is? Or do we think this is just going to be something like, I don't know, out of Desperate Housewives, where it's just going to be interpersonal conflict?
Well, now I'm wondering about that earlier rumor about you, Wes.
Everybody likes Desperate Housewives.
No. I mean, there's 4 red issues, so they're saying 4
big
issues
events.
are more important than the other issues. That's a weird way to build an event, by the way. I think
That's a stupid way to build an event.
yeah. I don't know.
Nobody ever accused Ukulele Boy of being smart.
Well, it's a tough one. I don't know. It's a lot of content in one place. Now, granted, this will have lots of data sheets, so maybe an actual comic length, it will be the equivalent of 2 issues.
Man. I cannot wait for the data sheet with the table and the layout and where the centerpiece goes.
Oh yeah,
and where the napkin's supposed to go. It's good.
Oh.
You're going to have to infer so much from it, right?
I'm going to wait for the data sheet that every single issue is going to have with the sewing cutout for how to make the costumes.
They need to have the costumes in cutout form with the tabs.
Yep.
Yes.
So that you can put them out like the old dressing, whatever that may be, Wes.
So that everybody
So
can go and
my sons were making cutout dress-up dolls the other day.
There you go.
no, so that they all their big seamstress audience can use it as a pattern to make their own, and then giving you all the specs on the exact dyes and sizes and the exact construction of their shoes, because why the hell not?
This whole thing just kind of reminds me of an episode of Andy Richter Controls the Universe where he went to a wedding, and that's I think what we've got here.
So I want to say thank you once again to Lane Kramer. We've also got a super chat from Exploding Printing. Hickman discovered the formula that every X fan had been waiting for: dinner parties and gardening.
Middle-aged white lady stuff.
That's right.
Now, part of me hopes there's this chance that what's going to end up happening is this is going to be a reverse Ten of Swords,
Yeah.
where we go into this being like, oh, fuck this. But then towards the end of the event, we're like, wait a minute. Sabretooth got unleashed and murdered the 5, and then Sinister unleashed his Chimera, and then Moira showed up with Destiny? What? Why is everything happening now? And
Absolutely. Yeah,
Wouldn't that be
let that be the case. Reverse subverting expectations and let this just be the most bonkers event, and everything. Just
No, that would be the subversion of expectations. We're all expecting this to be fucking terrible.
Yeah.
So they can subvert it by actually making a superhero story in it.
I would go back. Yeah. Let's have it. I bring Moira back in the middle of this. She could be a surprise guest. Maybe she's part of somebody's dress. I could be amazing. Just let's see. Yeah.
What are the chances horticulture shows up and they're dressed up maybe as the servers or whatever, and they break out their guns and they start shooting people down with vegetables?
I can't wait to see who gets choked to death with broccoli.
Vegetables can attack vegetables. That's crazy.
Yeah. Or maybe Cyclops, the real Cyclops, bursts in and he's all bloody and beaten. And he's like, we have to save the X-Men. Like, there you go.
Yeah.
I thought we were the X. What?
Oh.
This all sounds great.
Let's have that.
This is all infinitely better than what I know they're going to give us.
Well, I mean, as long as we get this just right after they officially introduce Morrow to the team, that's we gotta have this happen after that. So
I'm more of a Stacy X fan.
Oh
Definitely
yeah,
wanna say-
X-Tacy.
yeah.
Thank you very much to Exploding Pretty for supporting the channel. Also, thank you very much. I think there was one before we started from You Murdered That Guy.
Ooh.
I believe there was. It's now disappeared, but thank you so much to You Murdered That Guy for supporting the channel as well.
It was $2.22 Canadian to say good morning.
Oh, I
So
appreciate
thank you,
that.
you murdered that guy.
That is very nice.
So we've got Larry Comics. He's obviously a retailer. He's been on the channel before. If it's a good seller, Marvel will print to order. How does their marketing make any sense? All right, Joe, you are a comic industry professional. You have marketed your books. Obviously, you want to sell your comic book to your audience, and then in the process, grow your audience. How does marketing this book, this event this way, with these interesting costume designs that really, I don't know that they're going to interest a lot of comic book readers. How does this grow their audience?
I think the way you have to do it in this instance is a lot of this stuff is fine. You want to have there's a gala, there's costumes, it's fine. But you also have to market that something happens. And in all of the marketing for this event, nothing really happens. It's all
Apocalypse is coming back in the X-Men issue.
yes.
And we know someone gets murdered. But the problem is, if you're a mutant and you murdered, you just get resurrected.
That's the solicit for nearly every issue of Hickman's X-Men. And somebody dies. Like, okay.
And it doesn't matter.
Like, we've had multiple issues during this iteration of X-Men where entire or nearly entire teams are killed.
Yeah.
So this is actually like less happening.
The entire X-Force story plot right now revolves around the villains Frankensteining parts of all the dead X-Force members together from how many times they fucking died and gotten ripped apart.
Yeah.
That's the kind of storyline that would normally happen years down the road of something like this, but it feels like they're already at that point where it's like, what do we do with this gimmick of everybody just comes back to life again? And that's not good.
Well, you know what? Look, I remember when we finished House of X and Powers of X, and I pointed out all of the big problems that were going to be down the line as the result. And while it was a fun, good story, there was the law of unintended consequences was kicking in hardcore on that. And I saw what all those unintended consequences were going to be and how much it was going to damage the line as a total. And we're getting all of them.
So I do need to say thank you very much to Kenneth Dowling for the $20 super chat. Very generous. Thank you so much. He said, "Hi, fellas. I've been financially stimulated." Ooh, I'm financially stimulated. I like that. Recently, so I wanted to contribute to this great channel. Yule, you're looking good, sir. Let's talk comics. Yule, what is your secret? Do you use moisturizer?
I shaved. It's kind of like Joe with the haircut. You know, you let it go long, you look pretty bad, and then you shave it off and look
There
all
you
right.
go, Kenneth.
There
If
you
you
go.
shave, you too can look like $1 million like Yule.
That's right. My birthday's coming up on Tuesday, and I just want everybody to know I'm an old man.
Oh, man. Well, maybe we'll have you on the channel on Tuesday. We'll talk about whatever you want.
Oh,
Just to celebrate.
sure, why not? I'm not opening the store, so Tuesday is not new DC Comics this week.
So Yule can record the video in his his underwear, whatever.
That's right.
It's all good. So
So you don't
thank
think
so
I'm doing
much.
that now?
I was going to say that's different from now. How?
But it's going to be a Tuesday this time. But thank you very much to Kenneth Dowling so much. Comics Exposed. Remember, guys, Marvel is now a lifestyle brand, so a dress gala is right up their alley right now.
He's
I don't
not
know.
wrong.
Perch, is this what you thought when you thought lifestyle brand for Marvel? I thought they were going to be doing like lunch pails and stuff. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
What is a lifestyle brand?
I mean, it's just look. I think this is clearly the Met Gala. Like Joe said, the Met Gala trended on Twitter, and there are a lot of photos of dresses.
What,
and
9 months ago?
Yeah, exactly. 9 months ago, which means that we're getting Mrs. Frizzle and the Magic School Bus in the X-Men in some way in like about 9 months. So that's something to look forward to. We'll get a commentary on the election in about 3 months. Well, I guess we're getting some of that now. So this is all the sliding scale of lifestyle Twitter, and that's what we're getting. Some people saw that dresses look cool. They said, "Look at this!" And did you realize somebody wore meat one year? That's crazy, and that's our new storyline. So you can look at Twitter. That's your solicitations for about 9 months from now. So that
All right, I'll look at it right now. What do I see going on? What?
There's
Doc,
going to
what are
be
your
a.
thoughts on-
I was going to say
Doc.
something stupid.
Doc, what are your thoughts on Marvel being a lifestyle brand? Does it feel like that's actually happening, or do you think that's like a long-term goal?
Like Marvel as a lifestyle brand is PR marketing nonsense. It's just gobbledygook.
I think
doesn't
a lifestyle
actually-
brand. I think of like Oprah, right?
It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't. In practice, lifestyle brand doesn't mean anything except for we're embarrassed that we're a comic book company. Because look, they were already selling toys. They're already selling lunch boxes. They're already selling T-shirts. Them being a lifestyle brand, what are you gonna? I mean, okay, fine. They might make a fucking cookbook, but they've been licensing their shit out to do stuff, random nonsense with board games and stuff like that for 25, 35 years. So this isn't anything different. We're going to call ourselves a lifestyle brand because we're embarrassed that we're a comic book company.
You got to get your executive presentation put together, and you want to work with the current language, just like Andy Richter used to do in his job for his show. But this is just the nature of what comics are. It's you've got to promote this synergy that you got with the other brands. That's what they're doing. Marvel did have a cookbook out 30 years ago. But
I know.
The difference was the cookbook had the ingredients and the recipes, not the comics.
Yes.
They split those two. You didn't see like Mark Grunwald's Captain America, like, well, I've got to go fight the Red Skull, but here's how I make a lasagna.
Top salad.
Carbs going.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then John Walker comes in, and he's like, burn the chicken. It's like, you bastard. And then they fight.
And they
The secret is lemon pepper, Steve. It's lemon pepper.
Yeah.
That's why your chicken's always wrong.
And anytime you have something that's better in a restaurant than when you make it at home, it's because they used 3 times the butter you did. Come on.
Yeah. You need the key to all this is more MSG. That's what Marvel just needs to get more MSG into their comics. It will help everything.
Actually, it might.
So I do want to say thank you very much
probably.
to Chris from Comics Exposed. Really appreciate that. So we do have Chase from Gateway into Comics, who's an enormous X-Men fan. He was covering all of House of X, Powers of 10. He was covering the entire X-Men line in the beginning of Dawn of X. This is what he has to say. Hickman roped me into X-Men with House of X, Powers of 10. It made me more pissed than ever with what it has turned into. It's very, very dumb. Perch, I'm seeing this, from my viewers. Are you seeing this from your viewers as well? It feels like they bought into it. They bought into the hype of Hickman and what he was building towards, and they got it sold a bill of goods.
Well, I mean, it's more look, the to be an X-Men fan is sucks because you've had long stretches of just garbage comics, and so especially the last 10, 15 years, it's been a tough road. And so Hickman comes in and it feels like the comics are important. They're people are dying and they're serious and shit. Here's Moira. She's got powers now. What the fuck's going on? That's X-Men fans are reading this going, finally, my time has come. And then, 6 months later when we've got, old plant ladies and we've got, this kind of goofing around, it's like, oh, what the hell? It feels like a bait and switch because it was.
Well, I feel like, I feel like what we're getting right now is what Marvel wants to give us. They don't want to give us Hickman. They want to give us what they're giving us now. They will occasionally use things like, well, give Remender Uncanny X-Force. It's over there in the corner. Nobody gives a shit about X-Force. It hasn't been a popular title since since Capullo left. So we'll give him that. And that brings people back in. And then you get Hickman. Okay, we'll give him 2 months, 3 months doing essentially a weekly book. And it'll bring a bunch of people in. And then once we rope these idiots back in, then we'll start force feeding them the shit that we actually want to feed them.
I don't think they want to do. We got some super chats, by the way, we should get to
Absolutely.
before they get stacked up, and then we can.
So this is Atomic Hound. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. They are clearly in the business of making X fans, not X fans, X fans, not X fans. I will gladly support this in similar channels instead of this nonsense. Joe, I feel like I'm being punked at this point.
Mm-hmm. No,
is that the feeling you get? I think they're intentionally. It feels intentional.
Here's the thing: it might feel that way, but I genuinely believe that this is a group of people who are all it's an inside group. They're throwing ideas around. They're friends with each other. They're trying to one up each other on their ideas and stuff. It's not thinking about the stuff outside that group. It's approval within the group moving forward. I don't think there's anything malicious or anything let's screw the fans over, anything like that at all. But I do think it's on the inside looking in, and that's where you get these sort of things happening. It's a mixture of things. I think there's also an element of, approaching Hickman or approaching the X office and just being like, hey, we're going to pay you every month. How many months is this event going to last? And being exactly. 5 years? All right, we'll pay you. And this is how you get into some of those situations. And sometimes it's great and sometimes it isn't. I don't think it's as sinister, no pun intended, as that. But yeah, I don't like sitting back and thinking to myself maybe X-Men Gold ended too soon.
It's not where I want to be.
When we can give Colin Bunn nearly enough of a chance. Let's get him back here. Yeah.
When we can sit there and go, you know what? I wish we had Matthew Rosenberg's Uncanny X-Men back.
Wow.
Sure.
That was actually pretty good. That's not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was a solid book.
And he's a great guy, really.
Thank you very much to Atomic Hound for supporting the channel. We've also got what do we got? We've got Kenneth Dowling. I'm starting to feel the X books are back at the same state they were before House of X Powers of 10. Multiple books all over the place with no consistent stories. Yule, is that the impression that you get when you're reading the X-Men? Because that's what I'm getting with a lot of these. You've got Wolverine, aliens, and then a lot of stuff that's all over the place.
It just if you want to kill if you want to kill my enthusiasm, put out a whole bunch of like extra material that I have to get through in order to like understand what's going on. And when they announced all the different titles that they were going to have coming out, and it's like, did anybody think that like Fallen Angels was a good omen of naming a comic book something? That's not my, and then all the other stuff that was coming out, Hellions and Marauders and the Kate Pride stuff, and I'm just, it feels very much like how it was before, especially during the gold, blue, and red days. Mm-hmm. They would have a little bit of a story, or maybe this was a team that I liked and I didn't really like the art or story going on in it, and then something would happen that would draw me back in, so I have to read all of them, like that Mojo story that was horrible. A wedding's going to happen, all this other stuff. But no, those weren't good. Those were just like moments in time that like piqued my curiosity just for a moment, and then when it was realized, it fell apart. When this is realized, it'll probably fall apart.
Thank you very much to Kenneth Allen. We've also got Lane Kramer supporting the channel. This event feels like 12-issue event to set up a 24-issue event in September, October. I read Children of the Atom and Hellions. I feel like dropping both. So interesting enough, we saw the free comic book day issues, and one of the Marvels has an X-Men story in there. Does that mean that we're getting a Marvel winter event as well, Perch?
I don't think it. No, we had Hulk and Venom, and we had Spider-Man Avengers. I don't think we did have an X-Men event for free comic book.
Okay, maybe I remember that one wrong.
I do think, but I do think we're absolutely getting an X-Men event in the fall and winter. Yes, 100%.
That is absolutely insanity. So you might be right onto that one, Lane Kramer. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think he's wrong about 24 issues.
Maybe it'll only be 20.
No, maybe it'll be more like
36.
Not going down. Well, come on.
33. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've also got Eric Canetti, friend of the channel, and I do want to say he and I just had a conversation yesterday with someone that worked in a Bitcoin mining facility. The interview is going to be up tomorrow. It's got a lot of information on NFTs, environmental impacts, and exactly what they are and what it all kind of means moving forward. And I think you're going to love that conversation. But Eric is saying this is so you feel less punked, Wes. Thank you. This is so you feel less punked. Well, thank you very much for supporting the channel. I feel less punked, Eric. Thank you very much. And definitely watch out for that interview tomorrow. You're going to enjoy that.
Dude, that sounds cool. Yeah, actually, it really sounds cool.
Yeah, we got pretty lucky. Apparently, there's a viewer that also loves comic books that worked in a Bitcoin mining facility. What were the odds?
Oh, that's crazy. Kind of Eric. He's always good to listen to.
Hope his lungs are okay.
He was wearing
a canary down there.
Respiratory protection. That's what respiratory protection's for. You wear that. We're all wearing masks. All he's got to do is upgrade to a respirator.
There you go.
And I bet he even did the fit testing for it.
We've also got a super chat from Comicopolis.
Happy Saturday.
It's a good name.
Thank you so much for supporting the channel. First, Plant X-Men, now Catwalk X-Men. Looks like current year Marvel had a bad idea, didn't absolutely love. Is that really the problem here, Joe? Is maybe that the editorial team, obviously starting with Jordan White, who's the group editor, might need to learn to say no?
It might be. We don't really know where it starts. Is this starting at Jordan White? Is this starting at Hickman? Is this starting at Hickman saying whatever you guys want? Like there's a few different things that could be playing out here that we're not 100% sure. Obviously,
we have head of X. We've got the group editor.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be one of them.
I don't know, because Hickman certainly, it would seem, has more of a control here than most writers do in a line. There are all sorts of factors. Hickman could have checked out and is just, has disappeared and just
he's cashing a paycheck.
Like
he's cashing a paycheck, man.
Dude, Hickman's done this before with his image titles. It's like 2 trades in, everybody's loving it, and it's like, you ever going to come out with anything else? I mean, As long as he's got, these people writing Hellions and whatnot.
Yeah. I think that's part of it. I don't understand why we're not tying up loose ends, except for the fact that you can keep writing it out. Like, if we have 5 plot lines that we had mapped out and we tie them all up, then we're done. So we can't do that, and that's wrong.
Look, you had it right. Completely. I think that you got 2 factors. You got one of let's see how long we can stretch this out, as long as humanly possible, and just keep milking the money, which is a Marvel trait. I mean, DC, everybody does, but this is not new for Marvel. And the other is they're talking to each other. You have people who, and this has happened many times. I'm sure many of you experienced it. You get into a weird little echo chamber. You're drinking with your friends. It's late at night. You start getting up crazy ideas like, wouldn't it be funny if we robbed a bank? And everybody thinks that's hilarious. And you keep drinking. And then pretty soon it's like, we could rent a car and go do that. And everybody drinks some more. And then that's how idiots rob banks at 1 a.m. This is the equivalent of the X office. There's nobody in there like, hey, let's that won't work. Or maybe we should test this with some people outside this room. Or
except that whenever you get the urge and drunkenly or stoned to rob a bank, you go and rob a bank right now. You don't do it 6 months from now after starting the plan. At some point you sober up and say, this is a really bad fucking idea.
No, but we're getting the comments. They're creating these 6 months ago. We're getting them now. So
I know.
These ideas are time capsules.
I can't wait for Armie Hammer to show up 6 months from now in X-Men.
It's going to be the best.
Yeah. It's going to be amazing.
Talking about cannibalism.
Uncanny.
Well, I think more importantly, Perch, is there something you want to tell us?
Yeah, well, yes.
I mean, how much did you drink last night?
That's a revolving scale always. It's like people. It's not personal. In fact, it's almost the exact opposite of personal. It should be more personal. If it was more personal, maybe these ideas would be landing a little bit better. But that's what you got.
So that definitely falls right into Kenneth Dowling, who had a super chat on Joe's point about the X books. Well said as always. I'll go further. I think it's straight and confidence from editorial Marvel in general. Yeah, we certainly
y'all laughing?
That was 32 minutes in, just to let everybody know.
So I want to welcome to the channel the Fatal Diva himself, Jay.
That was the best intro right there. Yeah.
Look, man, I'm sorry. I needed breakfast.
Fucking breakfast burrito.
It's a shame we already finished talking about the Snydercut, so we have to move on other
Thanks
topics.
a lot, buddy.
But we are at a dinner right now, so
Well, this is the thing. I know Wes hated it anyway, so it's predictable. Wes, you hated it?
We'll
We've
get
already
into
talked
it.
about that. Sorry.
Yeah,
There's
he
no
hates
going back. So welcome back to the stream, the Fatal Diva, Jay. And so next up, we've got a super chat from Brad Frederick. Thanks for streaming, guys. Perch, do you have any idea how many X-Men Legends #1 did sales-wise?
I heard it did between 50 and 60,000.
That is pretty good.
Yeah.
Wish it had been over 100, but that is still a very successful comic book. We've also got, oh man, he's going to make me do it again. Comicopolis.
He's got it spelled out there for us.
Oh, Comicopolis.
Comicopolis. Now you're making me do it.
I'm looking stupid. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Who would you guys say is Jeff Johns of Marvel? Who has the most creative pull right now, hands down? It's got to be... no, it's not Hickman. It's Donny Cates.
I'm about to say Cates too. Yeah, Cates.
Donny Cates.
Yeah, well, hold on.
Limited to his titles. He's limited to just those books. I mean, Jeff Johns arguably had creative pull over things he wasn't writing for a period of time.
And that's why I say Hickman, because he at least has an entire division, the X office, that technically he has authority over. There's nobody else that has authority over, multiple titles they're not writing. Hickman's not writing, 11 of the 12 or 37 fucking X books. He's only writing one.
Yeah. The only other person I can think of who comes close, who might be second, is Jason Aaron, because to make Thor's mom Phoenix was such a needless power move.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
that was going to be my call. I think Aaron has managed to pull off a comic line crossover after War of the Realms did not do terribly well. The Avengers is not selling terribly well, and he's still able to pull this stuff off, get everything canceled, moved around. Phoenix is Thor's mom. Sure, that's a baller right there.
I can't wait for somebody that's competent to come in and use the Phoenix to decide to reboot the entire fucking Marvel universe just to get rid of Jason Aaron's influence.
Well, it's going to be crazy when the Phoenix breaks through the Force wall.
Yeah.
The Force wall, right?
Yeah.
Be all over. So thank you very much to Comicocalypse. I'm sorry for messing up your name a few times there, but I do appreciate you supporting the channel. We've got Chris from Comics Exposed, Fatal J with the big bite. Back Ninja Blast on Indiegogo right now. Go now. So Fatal J, how's Ninja Blast doing?
I want to thank everybody. We are funded, baby. Yeah,
Whoa,
we did
100%?
it. 100. Matter of fact, we at 102% right now.
Whoa.
Wow.
Woo! Thank y'all so much, man. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the support.
So you don't want any more support, right?
No, we can keep going.
Oh.
We can keep going.
Okay, you want more?
You can go up to 200%.
Yeah, we can keep going. You know.
All right. You gonna offer like gold pages or anything if we reach a certain goal?
You don't never know. Maybe gold, sprinkle of gold on it.
All right, nice. Yeah.
Lenticular interiors.
I just whoa interiors. What is this, a 3-page comic?
All metal pages.
Ooh, this would be like a Madonna sex book or something like that.
There you go.
Chromium interior.
You just might want to change that story a little bit now.
Chromium interior.
Hologram interiors.
If you're into comic books and you're into ninjas, Ninja Blast is probably the campaign for you. It's live right now on Indiegogo. How many days do they have left to make a decision, Fatal J?
45 days.
45 more days. So you've got some time.
Yeah.
There you go. So
Thank y'all
definitely,
so much.
definitely be supporting that if you have the opportunity. We've also got a 666 super chat from that. You murdered that guy. Brought this super chat to promote my YouTube channel about comics, but also regular books in the occult and religious studies category. There you go. How quaint. 666, baby. Canadian.
But it's Canadian, so that's like 48.
In America, it might be 458. So thank you so much for supporting the channel.
Oh, we got another one.
Absolutely.
We got another. Wow. Very much appreciate this. Lane Kramer. So from Wes's solicit video, it seems June Marvel is going a full $5 a comic. With all 4 events going on that much, how badly will this cannibalize sales? All right, Perch, you are the sales analysis guy. Not every comic is $5, but I bet half of them are. And we do have 4 events going on. We got the Hellfire Gala, we got Heroes Reborn, we've got the War of Bounty Hunters, and we've also got Infinite Destinies. That is a lot going on in 1 month.
Sure.
Is it going to cannibalize sales?
I mean, no, nobody's going to afford all this stuff. But I think the crossover audience. I mean, this is one of the problems maybe they have is that I don't think your Hellfire Gala and your Heroes Reborn audience is the same audience. I think that's 2 different groups, and you're not seeing a crossover, which actually is a problem. I think your Infinite Destinies is no audience. I mean, this was an event for the annuals that was supposed to come out last year that nobody really cared about, and they finally got it back on the books. I mean, that's not going to sell at all. And Star Wars is not red hot at the moment with their sales. So I mean, I think you've got 3 different audiences at least going on. None of them are crossing over, and this kind of just continues that trend. So maybe with the Phoenix being Thor's mom, we start to bring things over a little bit. Wolverine gets involved, saying he also did Thor's mom, and then that brings the parentage into question. There, that could be a big crossover. Like.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Add somehow, sure.
Cyclops starting AVX 2 by telling Thor I banged your mom.
Yeah. That's an inciting event right there.
Yeah. Can we announce that Wolverine has another name? That would be great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Why not? Wolverine is Odin.
You know what? For $5, I want a fucking foot long.
Well, there you go.
Well, that's a weirdly timed comment as we're talking about somebody hamming Thor's mom, but
exactly, that's what I don't want to say.
I don't know. I mean, this is too much. We know it's too much. It doesn't bring in new people. It's a problem. So but it's a long line of dumb things. I mean, Free Comic Book Day continues to send the free comics to comic shops where people are already going anyway. So, there's lots of problems here.
Yeah.
So thank you very much to Lane Kramer. So we'll start wrapping up our Hellfire Gala fashion debate. Now, Fatal J, the Fatal Diva himself, you haven't been with us very long. You weren't here for the whole thing. Did you have any words you wanted to say about all the fashion designs before we move on to the next topic?
No, I don't know. Have a clue what y'all talking about. Hellfire Gala fashion. Look,
It's
man,
gonna be over the course.
On all the notes that I sent you before this show.
I saw that, but look, man, I'm just not interested in the current X-Men runs. It's boring to me, man. I'm honest.
What? So a dinner party won't get you back into it?
What
if they invited me to the dinner party? Yeah,
they're serving breakfast burritos at this gala.
Have y'all noticed on every single comic live stream with Wes, I eat a burrito? That's my thing, man. I love burritos. So yes, you can trick me.
There you go.
You can trick me into reading a X-Men comic book by offering breakfast burritos.
Okay.
Chipotle, like Hellfire Gala crossover, will bring you in.
I hate Chipotle.
Why are they not doing that? Why not? Do they partner up with Qdoba or AMPM at least and get like a little like AMPM breakfast burrito crossover? You could have like a coupon in there, and Quentin Quire could eat that burrito, and that could
die, and then come back to life and have another burrito and die.
It's like peanut butter and jelly, breakfast burritos and comic books. It matches.
Yeah.
If you had a chance to get
that's a good pairing, is what you're saying.
Yeah, if you get a breakfast burrito and a comic book, wouldn't you take that offer?
What pairs well with a PB&J sandwich? What comic book most does?
What do you got, Joe? You've got a.
Oh God! Well, that's like that. I immediately thought Squirrel Girl when I thought PB&J.
Oh, okay.
That seems like. Yeah.
But Squirrel Girl's kind of like a piece that gets stuck on the roof of your mouth. Is that why? Like reading that's kind of like that.
A little bit.
Just like Thor's mom.
Because nuts in her mouth.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
There you go. So thank you so much. We'll end our Hellfire Gala conversation there. I do want to say thank you very much to Darth Bobcat. Just how short was the era of $3.99 comics? Can we measure it in years or months, Perch?
No, years. It went on. In fairness, it went on for a while. I think
about a decade.
How long was the line at $3.99?
I mean, DC came to it later, but I mean, Marvel's been doing this for 10 years almost, and DC's been there for a while too. So it was a while. I mean, I think the question is how short is the era of $4.99 comics? Because I think everybody's eyeing that $7.99 price point, and they're like, if we put some backup stories in there, $7.99.
We're gonna be.
If we put a bunch of backup stories that nobody wants and we expect them to pay for, nobody will buy it. This is great. I swear to God, this fucking industry is aiming at zero sales.
They're going to be at $7.99 faster. The route from $4.99 to $7.99 is going to be much shorter than $3.99 to $4.99.
It's spinning.
The Flash, nobody buys.
Yeah, nobody buys. I like that.
Yeah, right?
The Flash, nobody buys.
Nobody buys.
Perfect. All right, so let's move on to our second topic. Well, before we do that, I want to say if you're visiting us and you haven't given this video a thumbs up, a like, to let other people know that we're having a great conversation, absolutely do that. And I definitely appreciate the support. Also, if you enjoy listening to podcasts, the Thinking Critical Comic Book Podcast is live on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. What else have we got? iHeartRadio, all that stuff. And also Comics by Perch has his podcast up as well. So if you can't view all of our stuff on YouTube, you can get all that content in the comforts of your car. Next up, we've got the Falcon Winter Soldier episode number 1. All right, Jay, this is your topic. I brought you in here for this. This isn't really comic books. It's TV. What did you think of Falcon Winter Soldier?
Oh man, it was very interesting. Nothing too outlandish. You didn't see the Hulk or anybody walking through there. It had very much realism into it. I think this is going to be Winter Soldier, the movie, the series. Like how you had that feel with Winter Soldier. I think you're going to get that in this series. And
I felt like it was more out of the MCU than WandaVision.
Yeah, and they need to go that route because that same movie formula, I don't think it's going to work. It's going to get old fast with the streaming service, Disney Plus. So I like what I see so far.
All right,
and I like they didn't meet up just yet.
Yul Carter hates comic book movies. Did you like Falcon Winter Soldier?
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good one. We were talking about on Perch's show last night in chat, talking about how jokey the Marvel movies were, and there was like one line that was kind of that way, but it wasn't so heavy-handed like the movies can be. And I thought it was okay. Started off with action, got to know the characters if you don't know them, and yeah, it was pretty good. Good first episode. Liked it.
It's definitely two soldiers returning from war. One to a family that moved on while he was off fighting and has their own issues, and he kind of wants to get in there, but they've got their own thing. And then with Winter Soldier, he's coming back and he has no family. There's no normal for him to return to. And so I like the contrasting ideas of what they're returning to.
Salute to my soldiers, Wes, because I like how when Winter Soldier was talking to a therapist and they kind of had that PTSD feel because he didn't know what to do after they were fighting all the villains and stuff. You know, so
he's been murdering people for 90 years straight.
Yep.
Pretty
Lucky bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah, lucky bastard. So, Joe, what did you think about the first episode of Falcon Winter Soldier? I was quite impressed personally.
I have a few thoughts. I did appreciate the big action opening. It felt very James Bond, a little more Pierce Brosnan than Daniel Craig, but you know,
Pierce Brosnan was robbed of that role years ago. I'll have you know.
He was.
I'm about to say that's the best Bond.
You know, I don't know. I'm partial to Timothy Dalton, especially in The Living Daylights, but that's another conversation.
Yeah, he's
moving
underrated.
on. But I appreciated that opening. Then I thought the Falcon stuff was stronger overall than the Winter Soldier stuff. There was a really nice story there of him, relinquishing the shield and leading up to, John Walker.
Did you like him being duped into relinquishing the shield because the government had a plan for who the new Captain America was going to be all along?
Oh yeah, that I liked all that. That was really good. The only scene with Falcon that I thought was really clunky was the bank scene getting a loan. It was too jokey and cutesy while also being like it was tonally really off.
I like that scene though, not with the loan officer, but I just like the realism in it because now we know what goes on when the movie turns off. You know what I mean?
No, I liked when they left the bank and him and his sister they're having that conversation.
Yeah,
the loan officer either he needed to want them to have the loan, and then someone else needed to come and be like, "Oh, we can't do this," and he's like heartbroken and he really tried. Or you have to play that scene straight, and the guy is just like, "I'm sorry, sir. Thank you for your service, but we, you don't understand how it's been.
You don't have full-time employment."
Yeah,
and that's what I like though. I like that because we always wondered, how's they making money? Do they get paid for saving the world, or how does?
They got a stipend from Tony Stark or something.
Yeah,
there's that, and then the Winter Soldier stuff. A lot of it was pretty ham-fisted. Like Sebastian Stan is fine in this role, but there were a lot of like clunky, hitting you over the head kind of moments. I still think it's hilarious when he was at the bar with the woman and she's just like over the top, like the worst thing that could ever happen to anyone is having their son murdered by you. Like, it was just like, come on. Like, this needed another pass. It needed, like, I'm not a complete idiot. You can talk to me in a way where it's like a little more subtle. Like, it would have been fine if she was just like, I appreciate you going to lunch with him. He really needs help. He hasn't, he still dwells on that. Like, they could have done something like that. And then they made it worse when he then goes to see the guy after, and then they like comedically, like it's out of like Malcolm in the Middle or something, just zoom in on.
Yeah, that was a bad zoom in.
Yeah, to his dead son, and it's like, don't show that. We know what happened. You showed us the kid that guy getting murdered earlier. We know exactly what's happening. You don't have to comedically show a shrine like multiple times in a conversation. He just he should have just opened the door. It should have been awkward. Gives them the money for lunch and leaves.
That made it cheesy. Yeah.
So I do need to say thank you very much to Chris from Comments Explained for the super chat. Falcon Winter Soldier was 6 out of 10. Snyder's Justice League was a 5 out of 10. Was really hoping Snyder was going to do something with JL. Asked too much.
I saw a lot of 5 out of 10s on your stream yesterday, Fatal J.
Oh,
if I remember correctly.
Were they giving Fatal J a 5 out of 10? Because that's too much.
Not to him, but to Justice League. I saw a lot of something out of 10, but a lot of them were 5s.
I told Wes because I saw the movie. I saw it Saturday, and I told Wes I knew he wasn't gonna like it. I knew he wasn't gonna like it. If he just hates Snyder, period. Now I ain't gonna say hate. He just
like Dawn of the Dead.
I will say though,
that's good.
Fatal J's burrito before 8 out of 10.
Yeah, Fatal J eating his burrito, 8.5 out of 10.
I gave it a 10. I should have tasted.
What is it? Chef's kiss. So thank you very much, Chris from Comic Display. We've also
Are y'all
got
feeling the
Lane Craver.
haircut though, like the normal haircut? Because I thought the Winter Soldier. With
I'm
the
loving
longer
the
hair-
avatar from like the street ball game, where you're the heavier set point guard with the headband, right?
Oh, I just did this because I was sweating to get here because I'm in
Yeah,
my
I know. That's why he wears it too.
and I'm still in the internet and I had to hurry up and get here. But look, this is the question I'm asking. Do y'all like the haircut that he has, the normal haircut? Because I like the longer hair because it gave him that brutal rock star murderer's killer look. Now
I
he just
think he's
like
trying to
an
get away
average
from
Joe.
that.
Oh, okay, I got you. That
He's
makes
trying
sense.
to become normal again. I think that's what the story is. Can
Gotcha.
he recover from being essentially a serial killer against his own will?
Yeah.
Even though he
would've
saved the world.
He would have looked too much like Berserker, the Keanu Reeves character. If he kept his hair long.
And that comic book, wow.
Yeah, that's
Woo,
bloody.
that's
It was fun.
Did we see Disney Plus is raising?
Was
the
he a
price to
caveman?
$7.99?
Is he a caveman?
It
I don't
wasn't
mean
one
to.
time.
I don't mean to throw out the topic, but was he a caveman?
He's Vandal Savage, man.
He is Vandal Savage.
Yes, he is. He is a caveman, and Disney Plus is raising their price. Yes.
Everybody's raising their prices. Didn't
$7.99 is a good price, though.
Yeah, compared to
I mean, it still
everything
is
else.
good.
Yeah.
But will they hold the line at $7.99?
That's
At least a year.
Yeah, that's better than Netflix and HBO Max. That's a heck of a good price.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you can pay $39 for new movies too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful.
U.S. dollars.
Yes.
I'm not worried about it
HBO
because I'm not buying the. Because I did it with that Mulan. I still regret. I still want my money back with that Mulan. I don't know what the freak that was. I was watching. They was running up walls in the movie. They was
didn't you
running
see the
up
Great Wall
walls.
with Matt Damon. They were doing the same thing.
But that wasn't. It was supposed to be a normal movie. It wasn't supposed to be a Marvel movie. It's a normal movie. They weren't supposed to be ninjas and stuff in there. It was ninjas in there, and I love ninjas.
Yeah, and they didn't even have the talking dragon either. It's the crap.
Did they keep the original music? That's the key.
No.
They
No
played
music.
snippets of it.
There's no.
They
Frank
played it
Cockroach,
straight?
There's no nothing. It's just a bunch of bullshit. Is what it was.
Man,
Yeah.
glad I have boys. We did not watch Mulan.
Yeah.
So thank you very much,
Dodged
Lane
a
Kramer.
bullet.
We've also got Kenneth Dowling. I really enjoyed Falcon Winter Soldier. I immediately got Lethal Weapon feels in the setup. I can definitely see that. And Daniel Craig is the best Bond. Timothy Dalton underrated. Come at me. Is Daniel
Craig the
best
new one?
Bond?
No, man. And I love Kenneth Darling, but no, man. Daniel Craig is not the best Bond. He got some
Connery.
cold movies, though.
Connery or get the fuck out.
Connery was slapping women up in his joints.
Yeah, he was the only
was
one that was
laughing.
legit Bond, because he was the guy that was suave but would fucking murder you in a second.
And if they were disrespectful women, he's slapping them straight up. You'll never get that Bond again in movies.
Nope.
Yeah, you're just talking about Sean Connery, man. I don't appreciate that at all.
Absolutely not. So,
I mean, look, I don't either, but it's fun to watch.
I think we all know his best movie was Zardoz, though.
it's not the League
sure.
of Extraordinary Gentlemen, the movie
League of
that made him
Extraordinary
retire.
Gentlemen.
No.
Y'all don't like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
No,
It
Sean
makes
Connery
him
quit
tired.
acting because
No, it's
that movie
terrible.
sucked so bad.
I'm still waiting to
should
be
be.
impressed.
That was so stupid.
Man,
But thank you so much to Kenneth Dowling for supporting the channel. We did get off topic a little
We're
bit.
not doing Bond here.
Sorry, that was my fault. Sorry. Man.
All right, Doc, did you watch Falcon Winter Soldier?
I did not. I didn't have a chance to watch it yet. I finally finished Snydercut last night, and we'll get to that.
Okay,
whenever-
well, we will get
We'll
to
get
that
to that.
because we haven't
Well,
talked
Doc,
about it
oh,
yet.
okay. Y'all tricked me. I thought y'all already talked about it.
No,
Yeah.
we did not talk
See,
about it. We're waiting for you, man.
yeah, we just didn't
We were
want you
just
to
shaking your dick, man.
distract.
I got a bathroom break to do. I've been waiting for you for a while now.
All
Sorry,
right,
just-
Perch, what did you think of Falcon Winter Soldier? Did you
No, I
think
mean-
it was too in your face? Was it over the top?
I mean, it's fine. I think it was a good show. It was starting off with a bang. I was with Joe. I liked the opening. I didn't thought it wandered into about 40 minutes of setup. It was all set up in a lot of cases. So hopefully it builds. 6 episodes this time. That's it. So 50 minutes each, I think, is what we've got for this. So
It's only 6 episodes.
only 6.
Well,
They're
that's
doing that
actually-
one division crowd.
That was shorter.
WandaVision
That's
all
fine.
had short episodes.
Yeah, those are all 20 minutes. So yeah.
So we're getting about the same.
I think
It's
you're
just-
getting a little bit more technically because they're 50 minutes instead of 22, so it's a little bit longer.
Yeah.
It's fine. I think they'll set it up and nice, sure, and
It's going to be a nice 4-hour MCU movie in the end.
I got confidence in this one though because the big bad baddie is gonna be Zemo.
Well,
sure.
Yes.
Yeah, well, and
That's
They
a
Felix.
good
gave it away
villain.
in the poster.
Yeah,
I just hope by the end of this we come up with a word for what it means to be a parent that's lost a child.
It's Viloma. That is
Oh.
actually the word, Viloma.
There we go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Viloma.
I hope someone should inform the writing crew of
writers.
that.
It
Yeah.
rolls
Yeah.
right off the tongue. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
No,
thank
I-
you to Chris. He wants to say, "Yo, Doc, GTFO, Daniel Craig is the bestest."
All right, man. I'll you know what? Out of the modern Bonds, I'd say probably because it's between him and Pierce.
I think it's got to be freaking Vin Diesel and Triple X, right?
what?
That's the best Bond.
Come on, dude. I'm
Oh.
buff.
He was an extreme sports
Come on. Let's
enthusiast.
skateboard. Let's skateboard on this rocket ship.
Oh,
That's
we're on right
stupid,
now.
man.
In which case, then it's Ice Cube. Ice
I
Cube
think-
was the better Triple X, in my opinion.
No way, Vin Diesel. He had that fur
I
coat.
agree.
He had the better
No,
car.
Ice Cube movie was better.
I will say though, that I still have headcanon that the Fast and Furious franchise, the G.I. Joe franchise, and the Triple X franchise are all in the same universe.
Doc, I
And
remember
it's
you
some-
said that before.
And at some point, Vin Diesel will leave Fast and Furious to go become Triple X, and
Okay, so
The
what's
Rock.
the timeline, Doc?
and the Rock will become Roadblock in G.I. Joe.
So what's the timeline? Fast and Furious was before all the
Yes.
other movies?
And then it splits out into G.I. Joe and Triple X.
I got you.
That's yep.
That's the cheese universe, the cheesy universe.
Oh
That's
yeah.
Doc's head cheese.
Yep. Because the
I
Fast
don't
and
want any of
Furious.
that.
No.
Fast
What is
and
this,
Furious
Texas
movie-
Chainsaw Massacre or something?
Hey, come on! It's
Head
the
cheese?
Fast and Furious movies are just nothing but D&D with race cars.
Like what?
We're not getting into that.
Man, you
debate,
took it
so-
there because like,
Wes,
it was
you
in
don't
my
want to get
head.
into that debate because you like those movies.
No, because we have 5 topics left.
Yeah, but
And
I
he doesn't
I
need to
just-
talk about D&D
I
now.
want to say
and
this. This
James
all I want to say.
Bond.
This all I want to say, and then we can go to the next topic. The new movie, the cars are swinging on vines.
Yes, and that's why every time they get upgrades and they get to be able to do cooler shit with cars, like a D&D party.
We were more on the rails with the Hellfire Gala.
They even
Yeah.
They even got a mage whenever Letty came back and like willed Dom back to life after it got blown up.
Oh, you right about that.
All right,
It is
that's enough,
D&D.
fellas. Thank you so much for your contributions to that conversation. We do have more important and pressing things as far as the comic book industry. ta-nehisi Coates' Captain America run is going to end on issue number 30 in June. Let's start with you, Doc. I believe that you weren't a fan of how ta-nehisi Coates' run on Captain America. Are you glad that he's over?
Yes, and see, here's the thing with ta-nehisi Coates. there was zero chance that they were ever going to fire him. It didn't matter. He could be selling literally one copy of every book he was on, and they would still keep him on because the PR of firing him.
I'm gonna say he the token black guy.
The PR of firing him would be a nightmare for
He
him.
the token black guy.
Letting him just leave, I'm fine with. I'm good because he's just leaving. That's fine. Go do best of luck in your future endeavors elsewhere. As long as it is
Superman
not in Marvel.
movie.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's
he can go fuck up Hollywood.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about Hollywood. I like comic books.
I like, Doc, how you just described ta-nehisi Coates as John Walker going from Captain America to the U.S. agent.
Yes. Yes. Best of luck in your future endeavors.
Look, I liked Maximum Penitentiary or whatever that was called. That had a lot
Security?
of U.S. agent. Yeah,
Wasn't that was another annual event, wasn't it?
No, it was like a 3-issue thing.
Okay, I remember there was like one issue tie-in on X-Men, or 2. Was that where they became where the Earth became a prison planet for scrolls or something?
Okay, Doc. We really have gone so far off topic that we do have to cover these. So, Perch, what are your thoughts on Captain America moving forward? Are they going to reboot it? Or are they going to keep going with the numbering? And should people even have any hope? At this point, it's been over a decade since they've really had a good Captain America run.
Yeah, I mean, I think they will reboot it. I think this is the 80th anniversary. I think they'll take the opportunity to want to do a special double-sized adventure issue, and I think they'll do that. There's some rumors going on right now that Priest is going to be tapped to be the new writer, so we'll see if that pans out or not. Be interesting to see.
I love that. No, I mean, do you remember whenever he did the Captain America Falcon series with Bart Sears?
Sure, and he's
mid-2000s
right now. So
that was good.
Yeah, so I think that would be interesting to see if that's true. Would like to see that play out, but I mean, nothing is really going to happen. I think the problem with Coates, and I maintain, and I know people have their feelings about that writer, but whoever the poor bastard was that was going to have to follow up the Secret Empire storyline was fucked. I mean, just what how in the world are you supposed to do anything with that? And so I mean, that I never like this approach, but the idea of you just take a title and you don't ship it for a while, you take a year off like they did with Fantastic Four or Thor or things like that in the past. That was really where Captain America needed to be after Secret Empire, but here we are. So, they'll reboot it. The anniversary is too tempting. They'll put somebody else on it. I hope it is Priest. But, who knows? I think any way they reboot it, you're talking about another 16 issues or so before there's a new creative team. So, that's all you got. Yay.
Hooray.
Does anybody have any bigger hopes for Captain America moving forward?
I do. Hail Hydra.
Hail Hydra.
What?
Okay, you just want the Hydra cap for an ongoing
You want Hydra cap, huh?
Yeah, okay.
Hail Hydra.
I want, I mean, when Joe and I talked over the Cap No More, he reminded me, and Grunwald spent a decade on that comic. That's the kind of run I want to see. I want to see a creator being able to have that kind of freedom to, really build some storylines and do some things.
Will we ever see that again if they don't own their own book?
I don't think so. Not in the big two. Those days are done.
We can always hope and pretend that they're going to back up a Brinks truck to Ed Brubaker to ask him to come back.
Yeah, right. Need more than that.
You said he'll never write
Joe,
comics.
I know.
You said this. I mean, Coates was pushing to get Spider-Man. He had a Spider-Man story. He wanted Spider-Man. He had a vision for that book, and they kind of went sideways into Captain America. And as I recall, CB had to kind of come in to help explain the character. That seems like right there you're fucking up.
No, there were a lot of problems there. To get ready to talk about it today, I made sure to read what was it? I read Captain America 27. So I've read scattered issues. I haven't read consistently through this run, and no offense to anyone on the team or Alex Ross covers or anything like that, but this book is awful. It's just a horrible comic book.
The Alex Ross covers is to trick you.
But the art's, it's fine and all that, but I'm reading this, and people have brought this up before. It's just Brubaker Redux done more poorly, and it's very much like, I'm just reading this, and it's just Cap's greatest hits. It's Sin and Alex Lukin, and it's the Cronus Corporation, and they're like Cap is there in a crowd with like Sharon Carter, and they're just looking around being like, oh my god, look, it's all the villains we ever fought before in this crowd. It's truly deeply uninspiring, and I was begging for it to end, so I'm very grateful that it's almost over.
Yeah, I mean, it gets knocked for a lot of people are believing that Coates is bringing kind of an ideology to the book. There's not an ideology in this book; it's just dull. Like it's simultaneously dull and it's just a carbon copy of previous runs. That's the problem. You're not getting secret politics pushed into this. You're just getting a very dull book.
Yes, because Ta-Nehisi Coates is just not a good fiction writer. He never has been.
It's not really his forte.
No.
So I do need to say thank you very much to Comic Apocalypse for having the Fast and Furious turn into Autobots and Vin Diesel teaming up with Optimus Prime would make me weep with joy like a child, zero shame. I think we would all like that.
Yep.
That's very nice. So thank you very much for supporting the channel. We've also got, there we go. Kenneth Dowling. I'm glad Coates is leaving Cap and Black Panther. Don't mean to go off topic, but I, for one, want a solid Black Panther run, a good Cap run, and a Black Panther run.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
That's a good one.
So, Joe, who would you tap for Black Panther if you were like the editor? If you could get your dream creator?
I did not prepare for
like a Marvel editor though, not just like a super editor.
You were C.D. Cebulski. Who would you put in the chair?
Oh, geez, God, I'm trying to think now, because like it depends even what you want to do with Black Panther. I think you have to move away from the kind of Wakanda world building that Coates was doing, and put Black Panther in a place that's not space. That shouldn't have been either it's Wakanda or space, but that's what we got. Yeah, it's tough. I think you have to sort of make T'Challa go out into like the world and do things. You have to like remove him from being the leader in any way of Wakanda, to cut him loose so he can do fun and interesting things. I'm not really sure who would even be a good fit for that right now. I'd really have to think, because I can't think of anyone who
Brandon Thomas did some interesting stuff in Future State as far as Aquaman, where it was those two characters going and kind of discovering who they are, kind of out there. Maybe that would be a good fit, but I'm not sure.
Black Panther got the potential to be a great comic, but it seems like Marvel always push it to the side when it comes to great story. I don't know why they do that.
I wouldn't mind seeing Brubaker or somebody like that take a crack at Black Panther using kind of the formula that he did. He's pushed out of his nation, and he's got to kind of go undercover and do some things, and that might be an interesting run.
No, that Brubaker could do it. I mean, he'll never do it, but
no, that's the problem.
What artist would y'all do on Black Panther?
Brian Stelfreeze, bring him back.
A good one.
Yeah, a good one is always.
Don't have fill-ins with crummy artists if you got to do it that way. You know who's floating around Marvel that I think would be good for either Cap or Black Panther? Old-timer Kurt Busiek is doing Marvels now, so he knows his history.
Yeah.
He knows how to, he's taken lesser characters and made them, not that Black Panther or Cap are lesser, but...
Yeah.
He's done more with less. With these
exactly. That's a good one. I think he would be really good for either of those titles, and I don't think many people would cry about it either.
Yeah. That's
very good point.
It might be boring sounding, but Busiek knows how to tell a comic book story, and it doesn't always have to just be one of those trade situations, and he's good.
So thank you very much to Kenneth Dowling. Also, we've got Chris from Comics Exposed. Now they can reboot Captain America with John Ridley. Imagine how great that would be.
That's about par for the course of what I'd expect from 21st century Marvel.
I don't know. After I'm reading the Superman, I don't know if John Ridley's the best fit for the character.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And then he also goes, and if Ridley can't do it, let Gene Yang write Captain America. Actually, Gene Yang writes a fucking pretty damn good Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides the rebranding him no longer being, what is he?
They all hate
tolerance
America.
and injustice. I think what it is. So
Yeah.
Gene Yang actually would probably be a pretty good choice.
I like Gene Yang. I think he'd be decent.
Well, the problem is you have his whole point here was a joke that
I know.
we get a bunch of
Yeah,
people that don't like America.
Mhm.
Yeah, we get that. But Gene Yang, whether he likes America or not, writes a pretty damn good Superman.
Yeah. No, I
That's the
agree.
point.
Yeah.
No, I think he could take a crack at it. I think there's a couple names out there. I think Captain America is easier to plot out than Black Panther. In a lot of cases, but it's also the kind of story you're going to tell. Like these characters have a rogues gallery of villains. Have them go after those villains. Have a plot. Don't just rely on a bunch of kind of confusing nonsense and then throw Red Skull in there at the end. You got to have him work through some people. And yeah,
Peter J. Tomasi, bring him over from DC and put him on Cap.
Ooh, that'd be cool. I'll dig that.
He
could do it.
did wonders for Superman. Or Matt Kent was my other outside the box choice. It seems like he probably has a higher profile after his work on Berserker. Maybe
He
put
needs-
him on Black Panther and let him annihilate people.
He needs to get a mainstream title for real now.
Yes, he does.
I think he's done some stuff, filled in for Lemire projects and a few things here and there. But I like him a lot as a writer, and I would be interested to see what he would do with a real mainstream book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a
agree.
quick question real fast. Okay, you know how Batman and Superman are the biggest guys at DC, right?
I
I
know.
always wonder this. Is it Spider-Man and Wolverine or Spider-Man and Captain America? That's the
Spider-Man
two.
and
Cap is
Wolverine.
not.
Well,
yeah,
Spider-Man
Spider-Man Wolverine for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
part of sales, yeah.
I wish Cap was higher up, but you'd have to write him well for a little bit at least.
There's an element, kind of like Superman, though, where, there's a kid factor where they don't think those guys are cool.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even really think I loved Cap as much as I do now, later in life, than then. Yeah, he's kind of cheesy,
Tad bit boring,
You're
too.
cheesy.
Well, most
I'm thinking then.
How
I'm
could you
thinking
say
then,
that?
not now.
Yeah.
sales wise, the entire trinity in the Avengers are essentially B-listers.
Yes.
That's true.
or
Yeah.
less.
That is true. Okay, yeah.
Okay, sorry, man.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry.
And have been for a while.
That is true. We do have a super chat from Kenneth Dowling. King in Black, Black Panther tie-in. I love that book. Whoever wrote that issue, I want him to write the book permanently.
Yeah,
Who
that's
wrote that
Jeff,
issue?
that's Jeff Thorne, I believe.
That was a good book.
I didn't want to throw Jeff Thorne out there because I
You
don't want
guys
to
are
be a
buddies.
Yeah, I don't want to be a kiss ass either, but I think you
Yeah.
could do it around with it. I'd like
Yeah,
to see it.
Perch is going to say Sean Gordon Murphy should illustrate it.
I'm not saying that, no. But that would be cool.
It
I
would be
would
good,
like,
wouldn't
I
it?
would like that. Put
Yeah.
on anything.
I thought the Spider-Man King in Black one shot was fairly good too. It got to the heart of who the character is. They had that Reptile character in there. It was okay. I mean, it's a good standalone Spider-Man story as opposed to his regular title.
All
Yeah.
right, we've got Chris coming back. What, really? You think Yang would be good after doing Superman versus the Klan? You got to be kidding me.
Sales-wise, that book
Yeah.
is doing well.
Yeah.
Exactly. That book sold. So yes, please. Yeah.
Are
Let's,
we to believe Superman wouldn't fight the Klan?
well, yeah. I mean, of course, Superman's going to fight the Klan.
Yeah. Plus, that was based on an old radio show that
Yeah.
Yep.
that's been in Superman lore for 50 years.
I like
I
that
mean,
manga looking art in that book. I read that book a long time ago. That's a good
Yeah.
one.
DC
Yeah.
would love to have all of the YA stuff they're doing have that kind of sales right now.
Other than the Teen Titans related, only some of the Teen Titans related YA books and Primer, that Superman slashes the Klan is the other one that sells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you go look at the sales right now. That Superman smashes a Klan completely annihilates Nubia and a lot of the other stuff they've done recently. It's Joe's right. It's the Titans books, it's Primer, and it's Superman versus a Klan. That's what's working for him.
Well, it's
Zombie
because-
Whistler, right? Is that the next one?
Yeah, that one's not going to do well. But, yeah.
It's
Oh,
because
well,
Yang
it's
knows
not
how to
like
do a
Primer?
comic book,
Yeah, he's
I mean, he's been
great.
doing it for years now, and he knows how to craft a story properly. Sorry,
If you
Les.
read his Superman Batman in Future State, while I thought the story was stupid, like his Superman, it felt like Superman.
Yeah.
He was doing Superman stuff, and he talked like Superman.
Because for compared to all the other YA creators that DC's hired, he's the only one that's an actual comic book creator.
Right.
Sure.
I mean, for the most part, yeah.
Yep. So if he's a good choice for Superman, in my opinion. So
Or
do we have any other thoughts on Ta-Nehisi Coates ending his Captain America run before we get into the Snyder Cut? In what way we'll call Fatal Divas bread and butter?
It's just a shame that this guy is going to ruin Superman.
Well,
I mean,
Bye, Coates. Bye.
well,
Don't let the door-
Zack Snyder already ruined Superman, so expectations are so
that
low.
is not true, sir. That
Zack
is not
Snyder
true.
made a phenomenal Hyperion movie.
So with that, let's talk about.
I wanna
Zack
see a
Snyder's
Hyperion
Justice
movie, though.
League.
You already did. It was called Man of Steel.
No, sir.
Yes.
No, sir.
So Fatal J,
Yes,
you've been touting the Snyder Cut for what feels like years now. You
Yes.
finally got your wish. You viewed the movie early. You bounced out of our debate
Seen it 4
because you're
times.
being a fatal diva on that. You
Well,
showed
once I
up late.
destroyed you in the first debate, why would I need to do another one anyway? It's just going to be the same old
I would be
topic.
nice. I would be nice about this and say that was debatable, but that would be giving you far too much
West,
credit. I
your
completely
own
annihilate.
people were saying you got murdered in the debate.
That was you with like your 14 other YouTube accounts, whatever. Did you
said I
like
had
this
burnt-
movie?
That movie was boring.
He said I had burner accounts.
Yeah, you do. Did you like this movie?
Did I like this movie? Absolutely. The reason why I really like this movie, though, is because something like this never happened. This is a great opportunity. Even if you hate the movie, it's still a great opportunity for it to trend into other genres, into other movies, and they will listen to the fans and make more money. That is the simplest equation in your brain to understand that if you listen to the fans, you will make more money. HBO Max are getting tons of subscribers off this movie.
But the thing, your point though is, do we really want like 2 or 3 or 5 different versions released multiple years apart of the same damn movie?
Well, we were kind of seeing that every time there was a DVD release, weren't we? I mean,
Yeah, but
there's
it wasn't-
editor's cuts and extra scenes, and I could
Yeah,
move
this been
them around
happening,
and make my own movie if I want.
But this has been happening though. This is like nothing really new. I just think it was just a hype surrounded by it. This is like the most hypest movie ever. But we've been getting cuts of any movie out there.
Yeah, but it was just the
look at
DVD.
Blade Runner.
Well,
Blade
what's-
Runner got thousands of cuts.
Blade Runner didn't have a $70 million budget to do those cuts, though.
To remake
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
This is
You're
a
right about
little,
that.
this is a little different, but
You're right about that.
it's yeah.
And
sorry.
all those were just for DVD releases. They're not getting theater releases and acting like it's a whole new movie. I mean, in this case, it actually was basically a whole new movie. But this was like the mulligan of movie making.
At the end of the day, this is basically the biggest fan service that we ever seen, and people all over the world want to see this movie. And I think it's cool. We're gonna get the IMAX version. We're gonna get the black and white version. I think it's just a big celebration of them listening to the fans, and I think it's gonna pay off for HBO Max and Warner.
As someone who likes the Justice League in concept, I appreciate the fan service of you know what? My problem with Steppenwolf is he didn't sound like wind chimes every time he walked around, but they fixed that. They fixed. I remember watching that first Justice League movie and going, there aren't enough CGI horses getting punched and flown into the air. They fixed that. There wasn't enough digging. There's a lot of characters digging in this. I thought in that first cut from Whedon, why isn't Dead
People
Clark in a
digging?
nicer suit? They
I
gave
agree.
Dead Clark a real nice suit in this cut. They fixed all of those major problems. I think a lot of fans had when they were watching this.
Or
I
most
was watching this
importantly,
movie going, why in the world, when Aquaman walks into the water, can we not get a song from a little girl?
That was I
I
admit that was creepy, and the
Like-
girl looked creepy.
Yeah, I mean, these are the things we missed. So
But
thank
did-
goodness they brought him back to do
did
this.
Cyborg get more lines though? Is really what I'm interested in.
He
To
did.
me,
Oh, okay.
he was like the best in the movie.
Really?
Yeah, like
No wonder he was pissed off. Huh?
Yeah, the movie revolved around him. He was like sort of like the linchpin of
Yeah.
the movie, which
I
was weird. But because he didn't even come in till like an hour and a half in. But
well, we didn't get that much Superman in this movie either. Did you notice that?
I will tell you, if there's one thing in this movie that we can take out of it, is that the concept of a 3 or 5 or 4 act is entirely out the window because there is no structure to this movie.
yeah,
Like there's a beginning, a middle, an end, and another end, and then another end.
Then another.
And the thing is, all the parts within each of those sections, you could pretty much put them in a blender, just throw all the scenes in a hat and pull them out in a different order, and the movie would be exactly the same.
yeah. I mean, there were some other big problems too, like having that scene that that Lord of the Rings scene where they're all fighting Darkseid.
Yeah.
Darkseid, if you want him to be intimidating, don't just have some guy almost kill him. That was so stupid.
Well, they
He
was
should-
implying that was useless though, not Darkseid.
Sure, but a character like that should be above getting into a fight with like mortal men, like
Well, he was fighting gods though. That was the old gods, Zeus and Ares.
but
and
it's
all that.
still like
Darkseid needs to either be standing in shadows with his eyes glowing or sitting on a couch in Mr. Miracle's apartment drinking wine. That's
It's very true.
Celery.
got to be one of those two things.
Carrots.
And eating
Very
carrots.
true.
Yeah.
But like
Is this broccoli?
you want to like save those kind of we shouldn't have any concept of just how powerful he really is, kind of thing. Like it just felt like it was. I wouldn't have gone in that direction. I'm glad there was just like one Green Lantern in the area.
Well, this was the
to
thing
just be
too,
like-
though. When it comes to the average watcher, who
Sure.
the freak really knows about Steppenwolf like that?
Sure.
Well, they
You know
know
what I mean?
everything. Watchers know everything. What are you talking about?
But think about it. Steppenwolf wasn't introduced in no other DCEU movie in the past. So people, they're going to instantly...
It was
Go ahead, Doc.
It was just the problem with this movie, and it's the problem with everything else, is they fast forwarded 5 movies to get to Justice League,
Yeah.
and it remains the same problem because there's no build to the villains. You have no idea. They're just generic, cool-ish, maybe sort of looking villains. This was, the Destroyer with Surtur's crown.
Mhm.
As that's what most people were like, that looks like that giant suit of armor thing that Thor fought in the first movie, and then the flamey guy from the third movie.
Yeah.
Like they had sex, and that's what you got.
It was weird because it was so short-sighted because they're rushing to get these movies out to compete with Marvel, and at the same time it felt like they weren't stopping and thinking, we don't have to rush because these movies are making a ton of money, right? And us rushing is what tanked this franchise.
Exactly.
They should have
Zack
looked.
Snyder kind of tanked it. didn't he?
Yeah, but like they should have looked at that and been like, Suicide Squad is awful, but like we made a good profit on this. Why are we rushing? Let's take our time. Like there's no keep making movies making almost your over $1 billion. What are you, stupid? Like why are you
Exactly.
rushing?
What the fuck is wrong with these people? No, it is the dumbest plan. Like, was somebody sitting there in the Warner Media office like, well, they've got Avengers. Fuck, we've got to get Justice League out. We have to have Justice League out.
That's
to make
exactly what
Avengers.
happened.
Yeah.
Like, what are you, dumbass? You can continue. You can have 20 movies. Somebody can vomit out a Booster Gold movie and make $500 million. Don't be stupid here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
you can get around to building to Justice League. I mean, they didn't. That's the problem. They got in a rush, and that has been the problem with this movie in any cut, in any way you try to spin it, it doesn't matter the fact that they skipped all of the building shit.
I mean, you can have a movie about Harley Quinn's breakup, and it squeaks past profitable. That clearly shows us we could have an ambush mug movie, we could have a warlord movie, we could have all kinds of garbage out there, and they can make money. They should have just put out 30 movies.
Yeah, you put out a rated R Joker movie that made over $1 billion. Like, take your time, fellas. Like,
what are you doing? You don't need to do this. And take a look at the comics. If you do this right, you can have a Justice League International. You can have a Justice League Dark. You can franchise the shit out of this.
And it can go on for fucking ever.
Yeah.
So I will say this about the Justice League movie. I have not been able to finish it because it's too long. But
and it's boring and terrible also.
Has a much bigger body count. He seems more deadly, so that's probably a good thing. He looks a little more sinister. Flash was still terrible, so there's some better elements about it. It's really long. My son actually started crying. He made me turn it off.
Flash?
Well, I want to ask y'all this. Of course, y'all hate it. Y'all, which version do you hate the most? Do you hate the Justice League or
the Joss Whedon?
The Joss Whedon version or the Snyder Cut? Which one you hate worse?
Joss Whedon was worse because it was.
Yeah. But it's so much shorter.
Both of them had, it's shorter, but there's no narrative consistency. This had at least some narrative consistency throughout it. Flash was less shitty in this movie than he was in the first movie. He was still bad, but he was less bad.
I hate the soundtrack. I'm going to put that one out there.
Oh yeah, the soundtrack.
Yeah. Let's get rid of the Mumford Sons and get something a little bit more appealing to superhero fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Seriously.
No, for sure.
I mean, all they needed to do was just keep throwing different themes for each character. Give everyone their own theme and just keep having them play together.
Wes, did you see the part where Flash saved Iris? You haven't got that part yet? I could just imagine you watching that and your eyes rolling in the back of your head.
Yes, I look like the Undertaker.
Well, why is it so? I mean,
I pictured your face when I seen that.
I thought it was hilarious to throw a bunch of hot dogs at her face.
Some people were really stupid in this thing. I mean, you're seeing these reactions on Twitter like, what the hell? Why is it the same Flash? What the fuck did you think was going to happen? Did you think Zack Snyder was coming in to recast the whole movie and redo it?
He cast
the movie. To me, it's the same movie.
Yes.
Is it more competently done? Yes. Does Steppenwolf kill more people? Yes, that's more exciting. But it's the same film.
There must be.
He just kept his parts though. Like he got his parts in the Joss Whedon. Like a lot of them recognizable parts. Those was his parts.
If you like the first movie, then you will like this cut probably better.
Yes.
If you thought the first movie was boring, then you're not going to be happy with more boring, but maybe you'll appreciate that it looks prettier.
There's got to be a middle ground here where someone can create a cut out of this. Please don't. I'm done. Please stop making cuts of this. But
so you want another cut of the cut?
But I'm saying there is probably a version that's just 2.5 hours long that you could cobble together from all of this. That's an okay movie, but I don't. It's not worth it. Please don't. Don't make us go through this again.
Well, fellas, let me ask
as
y'all
a society.
Let me ask y'all this, fellas. What do you guys think about the epilogue?
I thought it was the beginning to a sequel.
Yeah,
which they won't ever do.
Yes. Actually, I halfway expect that they actually might, depending on...
I think they will.
I think that they might. You don't do this without an expectation that it can lead to a sequel. Because they're going to want more content.
Maybe. I mean, this movie just, to me, is like the story of 2020. It was like a pandemic thing. You have something, it's not that great, but you're trapped in your house, so you just kind of make it longer, and that's what you get.
Darth Bobcat, kind of encapsulates it best. I hated BVS. Wonder Woman 84 ruined my week, but somehow I liked the Snyder Cut. Ezra Miller was awful, and the epilogue knocked it down from a 6 out of 10 to a 5 out of 10. So liking this movie, the first one was so bad that a 5 out of 10 was pretty good.
That Wonder Woman 84 was pretty bad. It was a bad movie.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was bad.
Yeah.
This, the epilogue here was too long. You know what it
Lord of the
reminded me of?
Rings long? Because I haven't gotten there. Like I said, my kid shamed me into turning it off.
It's
Do
long.
Do you remember in the second in Dark Knight where they had the whole tacked on fourth act with Two-Face?
Mhm.
That's what it felt like, except for 5 times longer.
Well, that's like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's over an hour?
No, it's like I mean, I guess
It's about
kind of a
10,
solid-
15 minutes.
No, it's about 30.
You think I think it's about
It's about
15 minutes.
Well, regardless, it's long.
As long as Frodo ends up with the elves, I guess we'll all be happy.
And a huge orgy was had.
We're bringing in the Hickman, Krakoa. They're going to Krakoa.
It all leads to Krakoa. Yeah.
And the fact that, look, they turn the problem is there's so much that this kind of borrows from, like, unnecessarily from what they did on Avengers with Batman being Iron Man in this, with having visions of the future constantly, and for no apparent reason. Like they did that ever since Avengers 1.
No, but they've Batman has a long history from the Denny O'Neil run of being a precog. So, I appreciate that they're tapping into that 70s nature of the character.
I guess. I mean, but I guess.
Oh, no, that's sarcasm.
I don't know. I never fucking read Batman. I was never a big Batman fan.
I never read that book.
But my point is.
Okay, so let's go with the circle and do each rating. Y'all want to do that? Give the rating to the movie?
Does that mean afterwards we can stop talking about those?
Perhaps.
Okay,
All
who
right,
started
Joe, what's
off?
your rating? How are you grading the Snyder Cut?
Me? I'd probably give it like a 5 out of 10, 4 out of 10 in that area. It wasn't the worst thing I saw, and it was an improvement, but I also was miserable for a lot of it. So,
Well, that sounds like a nice experience. All right, Perch, how about you?
Yeah, it's probably a 3.
Yeah.
Maybe a 3 or 4. I mean, the parts that were good were good, but there were very few of those parts.
Yeah,
and there was a lot in between those parts.
All right, Doc. What's your score? What are you scoring this?
I'm scoring it about a 5 out of 10. Perch hit it there, and this movie did really test my, resolve to not get bored and start picking up my phone and just playing around with it, like in a lot of scenes.
yes.
Is it time to bake cookies?
Yeah,
Perhaps.
like when you're watching a show and you kind of forget that you're watching something and you can pause it and you just kind of wander off to go like pull some weeds.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I felt.
I was watching videos on my phone while I was watching this movie. And then I'm like, oh crap, some shit's happening on the TV.
There were a couple of times I had to get up and go do something, and I couldn't pause it because I was just like, there's no way I am pausing an over 4-hour movie. I'm just not doing it.
Yeah.
So Atomic Hound's giving it an 8 out of 10. Alton Davis, 5 out of 10 with the sneer. Jacob Ayers, 7 out of 10. Tevia, 4.5 out of 5. That's a 9 out of 10. That's a big number there, sir. Well, then he said 8 out of 10. Your math's off. Trey Michael, 7.5 out of 10. Wasn't the best, but wasn't bad. Pele is saying 5 out of 10. Deviant Pork, 6 out of 10. What else we got? Sweet Exorcist 7, 9 out of 10. So some people are really enjoying this one. All right, let's get to you, Yule. What are you scoring this one?
I can only base it off Man of Steel, and it wasn't very good. Actually, I saw the first few, I saw the very beginning of this. I put on HBO, and I'm thinking, all right, I'll watch this Justice League movie, even though I didn't see the movie prior to it. And I immediately realized I probably needed to watch the movie prior to that. And also I said, well, if I'm going to watch this, I probably should see the Joss Whedon one. And so I turned it off.
There you go. What are you giving the 4 minutes that you saw?
Superman was burning. something. I don't know. That's what I saw.
There you go.
It
That
was
sounds
all right.
like an 8 out of 10 if I ever heard one.
Oh yeah.
It was better than Ta-Nehisi Coates' Captain America. How's that?
Somebody in
Nearly
the
as
chat
short,
said
though.
it was better than Titans, and I'm like, well, okay, sure,
It's a pretty low bar.
yeah.
Yeah, that was. Oh my God, those
Mumbles
first
is
like.
giving it a negative 2 out of 10. Looking for my heart. I
Man.
appreciate that.
There we go.
So, from what I saw, it's like a 5 or a 6. Like, from what I saw, it was exciting when it was exciting, but it was really boring. It was really stretched out, and it did make my son cry. So I'm going to knock it down to a 4, just because I had to deal with the the after effects of the breakdown of Daddy. Why are we watching this? This is boring.
Mhm.
So, but if I had watched it without him, it would have been a 5 or 6, up to what I had. But I didn't get through it because I couldn't. All right, Fatal J, what are you giving it?
8 out of 10. 8 out of 10.
10.
Not 11?
No, because I will say this, Man of Steel is still my favorite superhero movie.
Wow.
And I knew somebody go start laughing when I said that.
I thought you didn't like Hyperion.
Man, look here. I would like to see an actual Hyperion movie.
You
but Man of-
already got it.
No, I got a Superman Clark Kent Gala out movie, and it was amazing, and I love it.
Okay.
All right, Joe, we can finish. We're done. Are you happy now?
I'm very happy.
It's over, man.
Alton,
It's over. It's done.
Alton
You know?
Davis is happy that Fatal J is based in Defiant. There you go. So we've got. Do we want to talk about? We'll just include this in the new Marvel series for June. We don't have enough time. So we
Sure.
have some new Marvel titles coming out in June. We've got the Heroes Reborn, essentially DC tie-ins where we're getting like a Batgirl and looks like Justice League Dark and some stuff like that. We got Infinite Destinies, Hellfire Gala, Predator, Gamma Flight, and United States Captain America all coming out. Perch, out of all those new titles that are coming out in June, which ones from Marvel really pique your interest? What do you think is going to be good?
I think Daredevil will continue to be good. I think that
None of the new stuff's going to be good?
I mean, I'm not in for the new Star Wars series, really, the crossover. The Heroes Reborn, I'm just waiting for it to be over, and we can get back to the flashbacks of Odin banging Phoenix, and then the Hellfire Gala. Not terribly into that. So unfortunately, you're kind of. I mean, we're at the Chameleon Conspiracy, I guess that's in there. So
Sure.
I'm excited for Predator from Ed Brisson.
yeah,
Okay.
I mean, that could be good. Sure. So it's tough. It's weird to see the summer be so weak. I don't know if Yule has the same thought, but this is a weird. Last year, of course, was all screwed up, but previously you'd see kind of some initiatives, some people trying to get their stuff together in the summer, and this year it's a mess.
Yeah, even this week, everything feels so very uninspired from the main two companies. I'm looking down at the line and looking at what DC's doing, and nothing really excites me. Marvel, for the most part, there's a few things that are interesting. I know I've talked about Beta Ray Bill, but I don't know if there's that much other than that. Maybe
I'm
Hickman
gonna tell
actually
you
gets
something that catches my eye.
I want to see Beta Ray Bill.
That the Heroes Reborn, Weapon X, and Final Flight. That
All
looks
right, Doc, what
interesting.
do you think about that one?
Okay, yeah,
It looks pretty interesting.
it's.
I'll give it a second look now.
That's fair. Yeah.
I even like the design. The design, what they did with it, they gave him his colors, Wolverine his colors, but they gave him a sleeveless shirt instead of the costume. That looked kind of cool. I wanna check that out.
There's this one book I'm really excited about that's going to be coming out called Beckstar. I don't know if anybody here knows anything about that.
Could you tell me a little bit about that? You?
Excellent.
I heard something about Cowboy Bebop or something like that.
Yeah, Cowboy Bebop.
He said,
It's one of those Japanimation films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Japanimation. It's one of my favorite genres.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a tough. I don't know. June's tough. We saw the DC solicits, Marvel solicits. It's it's a lot. I mean, I guess we're getting the Supergirl Path of Revenge comic we've always wanted. So
she's finally going to lay it out and take out Clark Kent and John Kent for stealing her spotlight.
Yeah, murder people. Absolutely.
I now you just want me to see like a Marvel solicit ad that's just Marvel. June's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
That Gamma Flight, if you're a fan of Immortal Hulk, might actually be good. Like that's the next series, I guess, or mini series.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm like really jazzed about that, but I've really been enjoying Immortal Hulk for the most part, and getting onto this might be a cool thing also. And anytime any of the Alpha Flight members are done well, I don't know if they've been done well, but hopefully they will be.
I like Final Flight, Alpha Flight.
Alpha Flight,
Sure.
yeah.
So we got a super chat from Darth Bobcat. This is going to be talking about the Snyder Cut. The epilogue took me from going, maybe Snyder does get these characters, to this was a fluke. It's time to stop. 50-year-old edgy teenager. Man's got it. Darth Bobcat's got a point. I'm just putting it out.
That's good.
Thank you so much for supporting the channel.
Yes.
This is also Snyder Cut. Kenneth Dowling, very generous supporting the channel. I watched Justice League, the Snyder Cut. I actually liked it. This version ran a lot smoother than the one released by Whedon. I'll definitely give you that. Everything you guys said about Warner Brothers and world building was correct. I'm glad Snyder got to finish his vision.
I did too.
Did you hear that, Fatal J? It's the end of the line. It's finished.
No, it's not, sir. He'll be back.
He'll be
Finish
back.
his vision.
Thank you, Kenneth.
But the good thing
Thank you,
for
Kenneth.
everybody is this is going to be an Elseworld type of universe with Snyder. But he coming back, trust me.
The whole DCEU is Elseworld.
I appreciate all of Kenneth's support to the channel today.
Absolutely.
I do
Yes,
too.
it's very kind.
Oh, Kenneth always support, man. Thank you, Kenneth.
We had one
But,
more too from Lane
We've
Kramer.
definitely got some a lot of Elseworlds. Obviously, the Batman movie is not going to be in the DCEU. I
And I
imagine that
wanna
means
see
the
that.
Gotham TV show isn't going to
Robert
be in the
Pattinson
MCU.
is going to prove a lot of people wrong. And you heard Fatal J say it first. He going to prove a lot of people wrong.
They just need to make sure they detail the Batmobile before.
You know what
putting it
I
out
think he
there.
going to do, Doc? I think he going to upgrade it throughout the movie. It look like one of those type of cars.
Like
No,
a
that
video game.
That
Where
Yeah.
he beats the one boss, he gets a new door.
Yeah.
So-
Maybe
You
the
get
car
some
could be
Crow
from
with
the
the-
Furious movies.
Yes, I was
There you
about
go.
to just say. So, like the Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah. And also an Autobot.
Yes,
That would be great.
that's the final evolution when GI Joe and the Transformers all end up in the same universe too.
All right, Joe, you seem like a man on the streets. Fatal J says Robert Pattinson's going to prove everyone wrong. Is everyone doubting Robert Pattinson as Batman?
Yes.
I mean, there's always going to be people that doubt the casting. I think in a world,
I saw Water for Elephants.
sure, but I mean, like we live in a world where Michael Keaton has been Batman and Heath Ledger has been the Joker. So I'm more than willing to at least give it a shot. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he'll be fine.
Yeah.
So thank you very much to Kenneth Dowling. Now, does anyone else have?
You got to remember, Michael Keaton played Mr. Mom right before he played.
Oh,
Batman.
I remember Mr. Mom.
Yeah.
It's
I remember.
I know it was.
I
He went on to do that
Johnny
Multiplicity
Dangerously
movie as
personally.
well.
Johnny
Remember the-
Dangerously, yeah.
Your
Sure.
testicles in you video.
Multiplicity.
When he's trying to talk to his wife, they're not
Multiplicity, yeah.
having premarital sex.
Multiplicity
is a good movie,
man.
Well,
Multiplicity.
Multiplicity, the comic industry is now on that like fourth or fifth Michael Keaton that couldn't like say words anymore.
Yeah.
He had to have a cork on his forehead.
That's the one that
so he
said.
doesn't hurt
That's the one that said she touched my pee-pee.
Yeah, that's where we're at now.
Yeah, that is a good analogy for the comic industry, I think.
Yeah, Xerox of Xeroxes.
So we do have a super chat from Lane Kramer. He wants to know how much is the Heroes Reborn in total going to cost. I have not put that together. Perch, have you put that together?
I had before this month. I think I was estimating it at about $180.
Yeah.
Which is about $180 more than you should spend on this event.
Not
I
counting
know.
the variants and everything.
What is
so.
it, like an 8-issue mini or something like that, Max?
It's an 8-issue weekly, and then there's there's an Omega issue that's coming. What the ominous sign was that we have Heroes, in addition to Heroes Reborn, it's Heroes Return.
Yes.
Mhm.
They're giving us a Heroes Return, and it's unclear, is that a one-shot or more? It doesn't read like a one-shot, so We don't know how long this thing is going.
Remember when comics just used to come out and people could just follow them because the next issue was just the number after
It's crazy.
the other one?
Yeah.
And now they make it so impossible to follow things that people give up and just wait for the trades because they can't, I can't keep track of oh, well, there's 8 parts and then there's 4 different one-shots that you have to read in a certain order and this and that. It's a nightmare.
It is a nightmare, and the financials prove that, and nobody likes to hear this. And when people say, I'm just going to wait for the trades, that 80% of those people don't wait for the trades. They just don't buy anything. They don't do anything. So that's where we're at.
And Marvel and DC to some extent, their publishing strategy over the last decade has turned more and more into a fucking scavenger hunt to try to read the stories you want. There's a reason why comics kept increasing readership when it just went from issue 38 to 39.
Yes. What was so interesting is, what was it? I read forward to the Silver Age Flash Volume 1 recently, and I think it was Paul Kupperberg who was saying, at the time, they made the Silver Age Flash start at issue 105 because it was better on the newsstand to have a higher number issue than to start at a number 1, because people wouldn't buy a number 1 because there wasn't that inherent, is this going to last long? People would buy high number issues because they were like, oh, I know this has been going for a while. Yeah, it's a proven commodity.
Yeah.
So they weren't speculators; they were readers.
It's funny because last week, and we should talk about it actually at another time. But there was a roundtable of some manga artists who were talking about kind of their tricks, and that same exact comic came out. Of your goal is to get a high enough number so people trust that the comic is going to continue, that the manga is going to continue, and so they want to get away from those early numbers as fast as possible. That's how humans think, and it's like. I think this is absolutely still true today everywhere, and the U.S. comic market has gotten this completely wrong.
Yes, I've been screaming. Absolutely. I've been screaming that for a decade. That reboots just cause people to not have faith in your product and not stick around.
Yeah. Absolutely. Every jumping on point is someone else's jumping off point,
and more people, and it costs a lot less to lose readers than to gain them.
Yep,
it's very easy to lose them.
So thank you very much, Lane Kramer. We got another super chat from Dark Bobcat. Do tie-in comics and animated movies to HBO Max. So they're definitely doing the animated movies. They were looking at doing a tie-in to the Snyderverse I think they approached Scott Snyder actually before he decided he wasn't going to do superhero stuff for a while. But it sounds like that idea kind of fell flat and it will not be going forward. But they did look into it. So we almost got the Snyderverse continuing on in comic book format.
You guys ever seen Dark Knight Returns in animated form?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's amazing, man.
But it was direct to DVD.
Yeah.
But it still was amazing, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, DC's 2000s animated, direct to DVD stuff most of it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Fatal J. This is a shot across the bow from Dark Admiral March Hare, and I respect what he has to say here. Robert Pattinson as Batman was DJ Qualls tied up with other projects at the time of casting.
I'm just gonna say this: a lot of people had doubts about Ben Affleck's Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Affleck's 6'4", 230.
I think Robert Pattinson, and I need to make sure I say his name right because I butcher it sometimes. Pattinson, I think he's going to be the best Batman we ever seen.
Ridiculous.
Did Fatal J just say that live on camera? Yes, I did.
Well, all right. Let me ask you a quick. Before that, who was the best Batman?
Oh, Adam West.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
Jay, I hate to.
I only care about your opinion, Jay.
Say George Clooney.
I only care about you.
You want me to say mine?
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
Val Kilmer, come on.
He's a bat flecker. You can tell. Look at him right there.
I'm digging Val Kilmer here.
Absolutely Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Val Kilmer?
Is that your answer? Is that your final answer, Fatal J?
I'm your Huckleberry. No, yeah, I like Affleck Batman.
There you go.
It's a shame that they don't have the Olsen twins as Harley Quinn in this movie.
That would be dope. So thank you very much, Dark Admiral March.
Trey said
Fatal J in his place.
He said Fatal J go sit in the corner.
We've got another super chat from Kenneth Dowling. For those who are doubting Robert Pattinson's Batman, watch Good Time. He was excellent in that movie. Should have been nominated for an Oscar. His independent is strong post-Twilight. That is not true. I watched Water for Elephants. That is post-Twilight.
What about that war movie he was in? He was great in that. What's that movie called?
You can't even remember the name.
But it was still good.
Hey, he was so good you can't even remember the name of the movie.
I'm gonna tell y'all something. When he was pounding that guy's skull into the concrete, and then you see that one black dude with tears in his eyes, that was some brutal stuff that we never seen in a Batman movie. And
American
I can't wait.
History X was made years ago.
To death.
Yeah, but this was even more hardcore than that, in my opinion.
But you know what though? I saw Heath Ledger in theaters in A Knight's Tale.
It's a good movie.
You know,
and 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah,
I like that movie too.
But they're not indicative of being a good Joker. Is where I'm going with this. Like,
Heath Ledger was a extraordinary actor when he was cast as Joker, and I was.
But you wouldn't have thought that by watching A Knight's Tale. That's
yes,
what
I would have, and I did think that because that's a good movie.
That's the first thing he thought. That I saw this Knight's movie with a bunch of rock and roll music.
Joker. He'll be a great Joker.
I was like, everything he's been in has been good. Even the Patriot with Mel Gibson.
So you watched Brokeback Mountain? You thought he was good?
Yeah, I had a girlfriend when that movie came out, Jimmy Fatal J. I had to see it.
Dude, it worked, Fatal J. Don't worry about it.
Can we go back to the Patriot and how awesome it was when Mel Gibson murdered that horse with the American flag?
Yeah.
Fuck yes.
America.
Hey,
I forgot he was in the Patriot. Yeah, he was in the Patriot too.
Real quick, Darth Bobcat's $2.99 super chat here was very prescient. Heroes Reborn is so fucking lame we can't even stay on that topic.
Well,
yes.
Did I miss that one? I would apologize. Boom. Thank you so much, Darth Bobcat. You make a very good point. So we do have one more super chat I need to get to. Where is it? There it is. Dark Admiral March Hare. While we're at it, can we get a Snyder cut of Scott Snyder's Dark Knight's medal with a cast of Glee?
Well, a lot of the cast of Glee have died already. So,
damn, that's dark.
Is it a hit on that cast? Everybody is dying.
Right,
except for the Flash.
The one girl, she drowned. How did she get in a boat and drown?
Listen, man,
they killed her, man. They killed that girl, man.
There's somebody going around. I know who it is. I can't think of the name.
Did they find out some government secrets on Glee or something? They is knocking that cast off left and right. And they dying in weird type of ways. What was the girl doing in the boat with her baby and it was just her?
They were out on the lake, man. I don't know what to tell you.
For what?
People go on lakes in boats.
People on lakes.
Come on, man.
I think they had the Epstein tapes.
A celebrity.
So thank you very much to the Dark Admiral March Hare. We've also got Comic-Ocalypse. I think I got it this time. Check out Comic-Ocalypse. I'll be chronicling the doom.
Comic-Ocalypse.
There you go.
You got to say his name right. Comic-Ocalypse.
Comic-Ocalypse. That's what I said.
Okay. I was just making sure, man.
I'll be chronicling the doom of the comic industry as well as geekdom. I'll probably need a name everyone can pronounce. I'm sorry. If you watch the channel, I butcher people's names constantly. So I apologize, but definitely go check out his channel.
You got a good name. I like it.
Yeah, no,
it's good. Is great. I just need to hear it first.
Sprinkle some good stuff in though, so it's not all doom. You know,
all doom and gloom.
Yeah, do an episode on Liefeld and how badass his art is, and then you're
you know what I really like is I like Boom's paper quality.
Boom's paper quality is very good.
Yeah. You knew I was gonna say something when you said that, man. We got into a debate about Rob Liefeld, and I love Rob Liefeld.
I do like Rob Liefeld.
His art, come on, man.
Doc, get his ass.
Stupendous.
I love Liefeld's art.
What
the hell's wrong with it? It doesn't need to be perfect anatomy.
He made guns. The guns look like this.
I don't care. It looks fucking cool. We're in superhero
What are we
comics.
doing right now?
Hey, have you met Doc?
Yule.
Yes,
We
sir.
all know this about him.
I just want to ask Yule because I saw the smile. Don't the Liefeld guards look like this? Just
Oh yeah, I mean they're or like this, you know, like boom, you know, here
Yeah,
I'm
they look-
shooting a gun,
yeah.
hey, right there. Look at my gun.
They look
right
like
here.
this. Why do the guns look like this, Doc? That's all I want to know.
I don't care. They look fucking cool. They're
They're
bigger than
big,
his
man,
head.
and you see all the ammo that goes into them. They're great.
What about
Yes.
the belts? Why do
Look, I
everybody
like that he
have
made
pouches
the-
on their belts, man?
Because
Look, Liefeld was a visionary. Did you not see all the pocket pants out there afterwards?
Look, the guy gave he made the Enchantress like 12 feet tall with like 8 feet legs. So I mean, you got to hand him.
Asgardians are taller than regular humans,
Don't get
and
me
they're not
wrong, everybody.
portrayed
I'm a
like they
Liefeld.
should be.
I'm a
That's
Liefeld
fair,
fan, but
what's the next topic, Wes? What else we got?
Comicopolis, as you can see, do a Rob Liefeld video. You'll get some people there. We do have
Oh, yeah.
Kenneth Dowling, my top 5 Batman, Kevin Conroy, Christian Bale, Michael Keaton, Adam West, and Ben Affleck. I don't like Christian Bale as Batman, but I do like him as Bruce Wayne, interesting enough. So
Yeah, he was great in Newsies.
Yes, Newsies.
I think that's probably the first movie where he lost it on the production crew. You little sons of bitches.
Oh yeah, I
There you
know.
go.
I'm in the middle of a song and you interrupt me? You have a light shining at me? Don't you know?
would y'all count Kevin Conroy though? He's just the voice.
Wow.
Amazing voice at that.
Just a voice.
Wow.
Just.
I'm just
I
saying,
mean,
amazing
Why,
voice. Don't
why
get me
don't
wrong.
you
But
diss
he's,
Mark Hamill while you're at it,
Wow.
too? Who's only
What-
the voice of Joker.
Was Orson Welles just a voice
Yes.
as Unicron in the Transformers movie?
Well, it was a better last role than Raul Julia. Let's just say that.
That's fair.
well, if that's the case, then you right, Kenneth Dowling. Kevin Conroy is the best Batman. Then, if we doing it
Way
like
to
that,
set him straight. Good job,
Wow.
Kenneth Dowling, and thank you so much for supporting the channel. Let's get back to this last topic because we do have one more. The DC June solicits around as well. They've got some new series. We've got Batman Fortnite. We got Infinite Frontier, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, Batman Reptilian, Checkmate, Nice House on the Lake, and Wonder Woman Black and Gold. If I had to ask you, which one of these are you looking forward to?
Infinite Frontier, then. Something that's important that happens in a story as opposed to all the other books. I guess that's the one.
Sure.
That's the one you're for. All right, Joe. What are you looking for?
I'm Infinite Frontier for sure. Wonder Woman, Black, White, and Gold. I'll check out. My friend Nadia has a story in that, so I'm interested to see. I'll at least read that first one to see what they do with it. I don't have high expectations for it, but who knows? Sometimes these anthologies have one or two stories that really blow you away. And Riley Brown, I'm a big fan of him. This Batman Fortnite thing, I'll check it out because I don't really understand Fortnite.
I want to check that out too. That
and
look
I
interesting.
don't. I'm pretty sure Riley Brown also doesn't understand Fortnite. So I'm really interested to see how this goes.
There's going to be a
he's-
Batman Snake Eyes crossover in there, though. That could be cool.
Ah.
It could be cool, but like I love Riley Brown's art. I have some sketches from him. He's a great guy. He's pseudo local. He's in New Jersey, so he comes to a lot of the shows here. So I've been a fan of his for years. So I'm glad that he's on a book that's probably going to pay out royalties. So good for him.
That's good.
I like
All right, Fatal J, are you looking forward to any of these new comics being offered by DC in June?
Yeah, I'm like my friend. I'm interested in that Batman Fortnite. I want to see what that's all about. Look like I saw something with Brett Booth. Is he doing something? Is he doing a book too?
Nah, he's doing a cover for that
Guardians.
game fight. Yeah, he's doing Guardians cover.
He's doing Guardians. He has another X-Men Legends book, but it's not in June.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess the Batman Fortnite. That's pretty much it. Is Dan Mora? Is he doing anything else with DC?
He was doing the Detective Comics art, but in June we are seeing Victor Bogdanovich moves over from Wolverine, and he's going to be doing the art on Detective Comics. I'm super excited about that.
But sign me up for that because that dude is amazing.
Nice.
Absolutely. All right, Doc, what are you looking forward to from DC on that list?
I'm looking forward to keeping my money in my wallet.
Man, that is a lie. You're gonna buy Batman Reptilian.
Well, you know what? That Riley Brown, I do like.
Yeah.
I really liked his work on Cable and Deadpool. Like,
Yeah.
What was it? What was that? Like 10 years ago?
Yeah, it was a long time ago, but
it was. And so I haven't seen any of his art recently. Is his art style change appreciably in the interim?
I don't think it's really changed much from what I can tell.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Then I may give that a shot just because I like the artist, but nothing else there has any appeal whatsoever.
Batman Reptilian's written by Garth Ennis.
Okay, well maybe I will reconsider.
So there'll be toilet jokes, is what you're telling me.
There's going to be a lot of dick jokes, making fun of Batman, making fun of superheroes, and
or not. I mean, he can play it straight.
Hidden support for the IRA scattered throughout the
probably, and lots of absurd ways to kill things.
All right,
the
Perch,
best kind.
Is there anything you're looking forward to in there?
I mean, the comments have already been made for sure. I think that I'd like to see some of these books and what they can do from a marketing standpoint. I think that Infinite Frontier will be one to check out because it will indicate what's going on. I think Fortnite will be a test. This is going to be Daniel Cherry's first real test of true marketing outside of comics. So that's going to be an interesting spectacle, if nothing else, to kind of see what that looks like. This was his I think first thing he gets to really put his name on. So it's for me, June's going to be a lot of seeing what DC is going to look like for the next 2 years. Unfortunately, I know it's also the final month DC publishes comics.
Oh, I was going to say
Right.
that.
So-
I mean, this is the last year, I think, is what it is.
Yeah.
Last month, I mean, it did nothing in July. So unfortunately,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
haven't solicited anything for July, so that
Yeah.
means it's totally over.
it's over.
I'm surprised no one said "Nice House on the Lake." James Tynan's "Something is Killing the Children" was awesome. It's another horror genre book under DC Black Label, but
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see it.
I'll check it out. Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have.
No, that's all right.
Yeah.
No. What? I didn't realize it was a DC book, is what I was going to say. It's also a long title.
It's a
We got
it's a
lots
terrible
long
of-
title. It's a dumb title. I'll give you
It's a
that.
terrible title. That's why I
It
have
is a
no
terrible
interest.
title.
I will say, and I think people should check it out for themselves. I've seen some initial work from the Mr. Miracle Limited series, and there's a really nice hook in there. And so if you're a fan of that character from the 80s and the 90s, the Shiloh character, there's some cool stuff coming up. And I like where they're building there.
Awesome.
Awesome. So next up, we do have somebody's coming back at Fatal J, and I don't blame him. Kenneth Dowling. Don't diss voice actors Fatal J, the Fatal Diva of Thinking Critical.
I was just
Hold up, sir. Kenneth Dowling.
Listen to your medicine.
James Earl Jones, Michael Ironside, etc. Bad Sir Wes. Check out Good Time. It'll change your mind on Pattinson. Guaranteed. Take care, guys. Peace.
Kenneth. I wasn't. All I was saying is we doing voice actors with real movies. That's all I'm saying. Kevin Conroy.
Animated movies aren't real? Did you not watch The Lion King?
This dude right here, he always puts the gasoline on the fire.
Michael Ironside's great too. If any of you haven't seen that movie Turbo Kid, he's the villain. It came out a few years ago. It's pretty great.
No, you sure? I don't know if you having a little sarcasm in that.
No, I actually enjoy it. But Michael Ironside
okay.
just shows up in random things. Like he showed up at the end as like the captain of the boat in like first class. And you're just like, oh, hey, it's Michael Ironside.
Oh, yeah. Oh, did you guys ever like First Class? X-Men First Class? I thought that was an amazing film.
That's fine.
Yeah, but hey,
One of the best.
Kenneth Dowling, I love Kevin Conroy. He is the voice of Batman, and I didn't want people to think that I was dissing him. I would never diss Kevin Conroy. That's Batman
like-
Roy.
It felt like you were marginalizing his concontributions to the DC cinema.
No, I was just. I
That's
just
just how I
Definitely
do
did.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. He's
we've got-
amazing, and he's an openly gay voice actor too. So
I
that
didn't know
Batman
that.
you all love is gay.
What?
I
I
didn't
don't know
know
if I can handle this anymore. Off the list, right there.
We've got a super chat from MH hashtag Comics Invictus. Would you rather see Icon and Milestone or Val-Zod in Earth 2? Hire James Wan and Fast and the Furious production team and bring on Milestone. What do you think? Would you rather see the Milestone or Earth 2? Not you, Fatal J.
I'm going to, a lot of love for Icon out there. I don't like Icon. I don't like Mark Bright as an artist. and I didn't read that book. I like Hardware and Static. Those are the two. That's me.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I believe.
So I guess Zod. Val Zod.
I believe soon we're gonna get a Static movie. I just got that strange feeling.
It's in pre-production.
Yeah.
I don't know, Perch. Did you like Icon? Would you rather see him or Balzan?
Sure. I think. No, I'd like to see them do something good as Milestone. I liked Milestone before. There were some great comics that they had there, and there's some really cool concepts, and there's some crazy stuff. When Joe and I were talking with Jeff, we were talking about Zombie and some of those books. They did some out there kind of cool concepts. I'd like to see them do that. I think that the Earth 2 and a lot of that stuff, I mean, it'd be nice if DC could kind of just figure out their core universe before they start bringing in alternate worlds. That's the last thing they need right now. But, I think you could do some fun stuff with Milestone. Why not try and do something like that as a series? Make your Game of Thrones with some of these characters. Make this kind of ongoing series. It's gritty and well done and put together. Try that.
So, thank you very much for supporting the channel. We got another person chiming in and dissing Fatal J, Dark Admiral March Hare. Keith David as Spawn was fantastic. Another voice actor.
Why do you think I'm dissing these people? I'm just saying, are we comparing the voice actors with the live action movies? How is that a diss?
It's all acting, man.
Okay,
it's all acting.
Okay, well, I'll give it to that then. If that's the case, Dark Knight Returns, the animated movie, is my favorite Batman movie.
Wow.
Cool.
Okay.
Mask of the Phantasm.
Oh, that one's a good one.
That's a good one.
Exactly.
So we don't rank it like that. Let's rank it. Let's go
All right, now we're doing animated
like
movies.
that, we're at the end of the road here.
Yeah.
There we come to the end.
We'll see Balzan.
Don't ever sing again.
We'll see Balzan before we see Icon, though. When it comes to books.
So thank you very much for supporting the channel, Dark Admiral March Hare. We are here for comic book recommendations. We're going to send it over to my buddy Fatal J. We've been having fun here, but we actually like each other, right, Jay?
Sometimes.
Not so much right now.
Everybody wants somebody sometime. Okay, my recommendations. What have I been reading lately? The last thing that I read, I want to say, is Last Ronin 2. I know that came out like a month ago, but this book is perfect. Even the size of the book goes back to the original Ninja Turtle run, because remember they printed it out on magazine size by accident. They doing everything. It's kind of like this is the Cobra Kai of comics right now, because it's bringing you back to the original run. So I recommend Last Ronin. That's the best I've seen in years when it comes to comic books. So check that out. Last Ronin, Ninja Turtles, and Ninja Class 2. That's coming out in June. Shipping in June.
Yule, what are you recommending?
2 based mainly on art. I'm sure the story will be fine. I've got Orphan and the Five Beasts by James Stokoe right there. He's a great illustrator.
Oh, that looks dope.
Oh, it's good. He's got this like manga anime feel, but it's also very independent or underground.
What's the name of it? Because you said it fast. What's the name
So
of it?
it's from Dark Horse. It's called Orphan and the Five Beasts.
Okay.
And then also from Image Comics, James Herron does Ultra Mega. So if you like kaiju and big monster fight and stuff, this is the one for you.
Okay.
There you go.
Awesome. Next up, Doc, what are you recommending?
You know what? Sword was actually pretty good this week. X and Thor. Thor was all right. I mean, it was finishing up almost done with the Donald Blake thing. But that was it. Otherwise, buy back issues. Seriously.
Absolutely. So Dark Admiral March Hare did want to say this to Fatal J. I'm not picking on you, just throwing out another fantastic voice actor. I love the animated version of the Dark Knight.
I know you wasn't, man. I was just playing along with the playing along. Thank you, man.
There you go. So he wasn't trying to be mean. Next up, Joe, did you give out recommendations yet?
No, I haven't. Some things I'd recommend are Nottingham at Mad Cave Studios was fun. I really like that. My buddy David Pepos has Scout's Honor over at Aftershock, which is an interesting book. It's like a world like a while after like an apocalypse and all that survived of like old records were like scout handbooks. So they all like, it's like they turned the scouts into like a religion and like a government body. And it's really, it's interesting. It's 3 issues in. I think it's going to be 5 issues total. Aftershock's been doing a lot of interesting things. So I checked that out. And also, since it's Women's History Month, in terms of back issues, Ramona Fradden's like one of my favorites. Her Silver Age Aquaman, Plastic Man. There's also an art book that I have, which I love, that Dynamite put out. She's really great. She signed it to me too, to Joe. It's very sweet. But she's phenomenal. She's like 94 years young, but yeah, if you're not familiar with her, check out her old work. She did a handful of like Fantastic Four issues, Super Friends. She was technically the first woman to draw Wonder Woman. It was in the Super Friends comics, but still, check her out. And she co-created Metamorpho. What more could you ask for?
Absolutely. So, Perch, what do you recommend?
Erratic came out this week. I think that's a great book. It's wrapping up. There's only 1 issue left of that. So that's really been a nice
Erratic
thing.
is dope.
Yeah, it's a great comic. Nottingham, as Joe mentioned, is really kind of good. I mean, how can you not go for Hot Valley Days and Cocaine Nights out of Antarctic? I mean, come on. There's that. I think that there's been a few things out. I mean, the big 2 are kind of in this weird holding pattern, like we've been talking about. King in Black is still consuming a lot of pieces there. So it'll be interesting to see kind of where that goes when that's finally all over. But there's been a few books. I went back and I was reading Alice in Borderland, which is a manga that's on Netflix. If you watch the Netflix show and didn't really work for you, the comic is actually much better, I think, in a lot of ways and deeper. So that's something old that you can go check out. And then, go look at Mark Grunwald's Cap, especially if you liked Cap Winter Soldier or Falcon Winter Soldier. Go look at that run. There's some great stuff in there.
Oh, yeah, that first third of that run is what they're mining so much of Falcon Winter Soldier from.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some bumpy things down the way, but I mean, that like I said, the first third, everything leading up to, about 350 and a little bit beyond is gold. And you forget how hardcore Walker was. Like, they did a really good job of selling him and killing some people.
Oh, yeah.
So I've got some recommendations. I really like the new creative team on Nightwing. I think Tom Taylor and Bruno Redondo did a great job. He's got a new 3-legged puppy. He's a billionaire now, and he finally got to say goodbye to Alfred. Tom Taylor covered a lot of ground. I thought that was an excellent comic. Also, Blade Runner Origins. I think I missed that one from the week before, but if you enjoyed the Blade Runner 2019 or 2029 story, Blade Runner Origins is absolutely fantastic. It's a new creative team, but the art's good, and I really enjoyed the story. And I've got to say this: if you are not ready to jump on the Ninja Blast train, I got this for you.
Yeah. You just learned that your ninjutsu sensei is hiding a murderous secret from you. What would you do? Enter Ninja Blast, the 32-page Ninja Revenge manga-style comic book. Once Ninja Blast lands in your hands, you will understand the awesome, spectacular, page-by-page comic book goodness still exists. All professional comic book readers and collectors like yourself deserve an incredible comic book experience with action-packed art, a dynamic, well-written story without millions of speech bubbles on one page. The Ninja Blast story consists of the young Shadow Blast ninja Ace, who gets caught up in a family feud between his sensei and his sensei brother, General Ganto of Neo Tokyo. This feud would drag Ace into a secret of his past that he wasn't never prepared for. Ninja Blast is created by me, Fatal J, and your first ninja mission assignment is to become a backer of Ninja Blast today on Indiegogo. Yeah. You heard the man. You heard the man.
I love it.
You heard the man. Back it today on Indiegogo. Thank you guys so much. Thank you
Yes,
so
thank
much.
you to everybody. Hopefully you were able to support Fatal J. Had a great show today, and we'll see y'all next week. This is a lot of fun.
Thanks, guys.
Take
Wash
it
your
easy.
ass.